Alright guys, we are trying to get done as quickly as possible. Oh, I can click that right now. Oh, that's close. No cigar though. Click that live. Pause the video. Oh, I gotta do a puzzle. Alright, past that puzzle. We'll pause that video. Let's go. Oh. Pause that video. Alright, cool. What's up, Murphy? What's up, Johnny? What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. I don't think this is the best spot to put that, but I gotta get it out my way. And we're gonna go over here. Wrong mouse. Cancel. Open that up. YouTube land. Dismiss. Click to post. View my channel. Click to live. There we go. Best case scenario, lots of stuff to do. I gotta put all these jumpers aside. All these are done and ready for me to do more. Hopefully, I got all my measurements right. I did get a chance to clean up my bench a little bit. I need to pull my Bluetooth out my ear. I'll leave all these measurements over here so I know what I'm cutting off. Put this back in my pocket. I've tried in the past to play music along with doing my lives, but it just don't work. It's too much. So audio mixer right there. Okay. What's up, Spanky? What's up, Abraham? Hope you guys are doing well. There's not much point in pointing this at me, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We'll see how the camera looks. You'll just see me pulling off wire and wrapping up wire. This is all we're gonna be doing for a couple minutes at least. I gotta measure this off before I do that. I'm probably gonna run out of wire on this spool, but I'll have more to mess with later. I have plenty of work to get done. My favorite pair of cutters. I don't know what them things are. I'll use these though. So right behind me is a pile of my zip ties. I'll put them right there. We'll wrap them up. What's up, Gilbert? Doing well. Busy, trying to keep up. It's part of life, unfortunately. Alright, so So I'm kind of wrapping these small. I don't really know why. Just because I got several to do. So I guess I'll wrap them small. Alright, so let's get more done. Got one wrapped. Now, let's do another. So far I've got a couple 100 foot. That measuring tape's about to break on me, but I'm gonna run it till it drops because it's, believe it or not, that simple measuring tape, I like it better than all my Milwaukees and everything else right now. It's just a simple, easy to use measuring tape, and I like it. It's just kind of stuck with me. I've actually owned 3 of them, and they're all falling apart, but I like them because they're flexible. So we're cutting some RG-400 for a build. If you guys don't know what RG-400 is, it's a Teflon-based coax. It uses a Teflon dielectric. It uses a fluorinated ethylene propylene exterior jacket. So it covers both of those. I need 2 of these now. Good evening. Watching from Houston. Copy that. I hope you guys are doing well over there in Houston. I don't know what the weather's like over y'all's way, but man, it's still 70 degrees out here. It is not by any means close to winter time over here. I know some other guys are actually getting some weather and stuff. Hey, what's up, man? Mr. Postman from the KY. One of these cuts is yours. I'm trying to get as many of these things done as possible to try to get caught up on my orders. Last week was a really rough week for me. I got some stuff done, but I was doing a lot of R&D, and that job, holy crap, that job. I need to separate this. These are going to be oddballs. I need to do something to I'm just going to put oddballs over there. That's the way I'm going to do it. I should know by the length, but they are definitely somewhere in between on my measurements. So. Nope. I'm going too far. Yeah, I think we're going to run out before we finish this spool off. Before we do this on the rest of this spool, but we're getting there. I'll have enough to finish the next several jobs. So, whoops, that needs to go over there now. Need to quit forgetting that. Now, let's get another one. WSG, hello, hope you're doing well. Just got in from the route and kind of thought maybe when you was unwinding it. I know, right? It's definitely, one of them is for sure. I'll leave it to you to guess which one's yours. Hey, Papa Smurf, thanks for the heart, man. Hope you're doing well, man. Been praying for your family, man. Hope you're doing well, man. I know it's that's your stuff, but definitely keep you in our prayers. What's up, Get Low? Hope you're doing well. Scott, hello. I saw Gilbert. What link am I making? Lots of different links. Right now I'm actually building a lot of bird samplers right now, and then also building a lot of velocity factor cuts. So, just depends on which one I'm doing. I've got 10-foot cuts in here. I'll have 12-foot cuts in here. I got 13-foot cuts in here. I got 25-foot cuts in here. All sorts of different ones. So, looking like I'm going to knock myself down on length right now. So I'm going to have to be smart about the next cuts just because. And look at this list and see what I can get done. That ain't going to happen, but maybe that will. Let me just count up and see what I got. Might actually happen, 30. Okay, that'll work. Progress is going well. Awesome, man. That's great news. Definitely still be praying. 73 from the southeast Utah. Hello, man. Appreciate you, man. Timber, man. Copy that forgot to message me. Hey, no problem. Message me anytime, man. I do apologize for maybe not reminding you. I don't know, to be honest. You'll have to remind me what you were supposed to message me about. But yeah, that's all right. Just send me a message. Anybody who has any quotes out with me, please remind me about your quotes at any point in time. If you want to try to get something done, just simply because it is entirely too hard for me to keep track of my orders and my quotes at the same time. I will try my best to get you a quote out, but as far as like whether you wanted that quote or not, you'll have to let me know. I'm not going to be able to get everything out without that. And then also, if you ask for a quote and I haven't given you one, please send me another message, and I will do my best to get you a quote. It's not my intention to miss anybody, but it does happen, and I am not super proud of that, but I try to be as on the ball as I can. But I've got one-man operation doing the website, doing the inventory, doing the ordering, doing the R&D, all that stuff. Is just, it's a little tough, just being honest, just a little tough. So, like I said, it's not my intention to miss you, and that's not talking specifically about timber, but just anybody, if you've messaged me and I haven't reached back out, please reach out again. I'm not trying to ignore you. It's just, like I said, I've got right now around 4 weeks worth of orders to get taken care of. I don't know what, 2.5 weeks in. I've got to get all these finished up. I've got 2 more connectors I got finished on an old job that I got to get knocked out. That's the longest job that I got going on right now. I would have had it done last week, but I'm missing one freaking connector. And forgive me, Lord, for that, but I'm missing one connector. I really, it's very frustrating. I got all his coax clamps built. I didn't even make any of those on the live. I guess I could show you guys what they look like, but I haven't done it because just busy. Yeah, I have a website. It's dwinsrfsupply.com. That's where you can buy the meters from me if you want the digital meters. I have a bunch of videos for all the different stuff that I build, that I've made over the years. I guess YouTube for the past 9 months is the best thing to be on because Facebook keeps deleting my live videos, and I don't make a reel of everything. I should, but I don't. It's too much work. I got, I don't know, thousands of hours of video. I don't know about thousands, but I'd say several hundred hours of videos out there. So I'd say I broke 1,000 hours at least, especially if you counted the platform separate, which you can't really because it's all the same content, but still, it's a lot. Hours and hours and hours out here. Okay, see how much length I got left to work with and see if I can make a separate cut on this one. Russell, appreciate you. Thanks for the follow, man. It is absolutely appreciated. You guys are the reason I do these videos. Alright, do I have any short links? This is... man, too short for anything I got ordered. Whatever. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this one up, and this will be a personal little project. I'll build a little short jumper for me is what I'll do. You know what? I will do that. I'm going to wrap this up over here, and then I'll keep this as another jumper, and I'm going to bring another jumper back. Give me just 1 second. I'll bring another one over here. I've been trying to prepare as much as I can. I built a bunch of RG-400 the other day. You guys are on my head, so we should be all right. I gotta have this unwrapped real quick. This stuff is a very low friction coefficient, but it can still get wrapped up. You just gotta pull it out, and it works out pretty easy. So I did do some quality control testing on some stuff. I did find a problem. Nothing I can't fix, but I did have one of my meters, not my digital meters, but one of my analog meters that I had that was not in spec. So I've got to pull it out and replace it with another analog meter. And that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. If a meter's not in spec and it's not right, then I'm not going to send it out the door. It's my name behind it, my business name behind it, and I'm not going to do that. All right. Hope you guys are doing well on YouTube land. And look, what Facebook land and TikTok land. I need to go over here and click this monitor right here. I think I'm supposed to click it and not supposed to get out of it. So pull that up here. Drag it over there, pull it up this way on that little screen right there. There we go. Cool. So, yeah. Here we go. So I've got a bunch. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 RG-400s to build right here. Let's turn this camera around so you guys can actually see what's going on. And let's get my little small camera back. Come on, buddy. You can find me. Now, TikTok has been missing out. They haven't been seeing none of these. And then I've got several more RG-400s already built right here. So I need to look at my order list and see. Okay, this is one order right here. This is for this one. And I need to look. That's this ticket. Okay, that's fine. I already know what that one is. That one's handled. So now, this jumper and this jumper is for that order. So I'll set it over there too. I don't know what the heck this is. I do know what this is, but I don't know what it... Oh, I know what it goes to. It needs to go up here to this other order. So let me put this up here. I'll set it up here for now. It's not going to get shipped out yet. It's got to go with another order. Hey, it found me. That's funny. So these two got to go over here. This is more stock right here. It's just another digital meter. I've got a bunch of those. Okay, now I'm going to go. This is 1 velocity. This is 2 velocity. Okay, cool. These are good to go. That's for that order. So those are all dedicated. Every one of those go to one single order. So those are taken care of. I'll have one more inverted velocity there. All right, now let's look at the order list. I don't see an inverted. I don't know why I have an extra inverted. I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep it. So I'll leave it over there for now. So I got an inverted and an extra piece too. So if you guys haven't seen my coax clamps, this is what they look like. This is one of my coax clamps. The rest of my coax clamps will look like this right here. I have a custom clamp on the end of them like that. This is for 1/2 inch, specifically this is for 1/2 inch hardline right here. The feed point connection is going to be a little bit different. It'll look like, one of these right here. It'll be there, and then there, and then there. That'll be for the feed point connection, like that one. And then I've got another regular one right there, and then we've got another regular one right there. Where's the oddball? 1, 2, 3. Nope, not that one. This is the main feed point one. These are the 2 regulars. Where's it at? It's hiding from me. Oh, and I went ahead and did a little bit of extra work and chamfered these, so I'm not nailing myself with all kinds of material. There's an extra clamp somewhere, and I'm blind and I don't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one. Yeah, it's over here. Found it. I cut it and made a mistake because this one actually turns down. So the way it'll set up is going to be like this, right there. So it'll actually aim downward. I have some photos and pictures if you guys want to see how that works and you're interested in getting coax clamps. I'll show you guys how that works later. Or not really, I won't show you guys. Anybody who's interested, I'll show you guys how it works. Alright, let's zoom in. Let's get to work and building these coaxes. So we got to prep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 ends, right? So let's grab as much stuff as I can prep for. I don't know where the rest of my reducers are. Let's count and see how much I got left to prep with. Because I know I got a pile somewhere, I just got to find them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whatever, I'll just do 6. I'll do half right now, and I'll prep the other half after. Is that Micarta? This is RG-400. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do half of these, and the rest of them I'll get put together. Okay. And the way I'm going to prep these is I like to grab some zip ties. Not the big zip ties like I just showed you guys earlier. I don't know where the heck I put all those anyway. I guess I used them all maybe? No, they're over here. I'll throw them in here. And I'll use these small ones right here. And what I do with these is I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this is the smartest way, and that I've found at least, to prepare yourself properly. Hola, has an amplifier 5.1, gracias. I don't know if I have no 5.1 surround sound amplifier. Nope. No habla español. No hablo español. I think that's how it goes. So, se habla, what is it? Se habla inglés. I'm proud of myself. To be honest, I don't know if I said that properly or not. Hey, what's up, Wesley? I was asking about the boards. C for the clamps. So the clamps are a type of like, I don't know, injected polyethylene or something like that. But they're used for clamping, typically used for clamping other materials. But in this application, I'm using it for clamping coax to a high voltage board. I gotta go and check some stuff. I don't see what you talking about. Now drag that over there. Let's make this a little smaller. Marius, hey Marius, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you very much. That is awesome. That was interesting. I don't know what I made interesting there, Timber, but that was some of my stuff that I'm building. I have some. I just finished building my first heavy-duty hairpin. Sweet, nice. Hairpins are good setups to go with, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, so. All right, cool. So now, that was a one-time thing. I will not be live on the other one in the future. Just this is for one person. Just say no. That was a one-time event. That's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be live on that other one. That other one's still gonna be active every time. I'm only ever live on the backup. Just so you know. But that'll be tomorrow once my TikTok gets banned from using what's called RTMP streaming. I have no clue why I get banned. There's nothing I do. I don't click anything wrong. I don't type anything wrong. I don't do anything wrong. but it just tells me that I'm banned for 7 days and I can't do it. And then we have to go back to old school and do some two phone or two device things. I'll have the camera for Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch, I think is what it is. And then on TikTok exclusively, they get a telephone. And they don't get the little handy dandy face cam that I get to say hello to you guys on. A60 fire breather, Rhode Island. Hey man, happy Thanksgiving to you, man. Appreciate it. Happy early Thanksgiving, that is. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for hopping in, saying hello too, for sure, man. It's appreciated. Inverted velocity is when I'm trying to invert the impedance, not trying to match the impedance. That's typically used on some poorly matched inputs on some old school DC stuff a lot of times. It's typically used whenever the wrong inputs has been modified on a build. Input is kind of annoying for like an end user to have to redo. So when you're working with a faulty input, you have to kind of roll with it and do what you can. So that's why I offer inverted velocity factor too. So let's get to work. I've got lots to do. Not a crazy amount of time to get it done. So now I need to do some math real quick. Let me look. All right, done. So I need 20, 46, 76, 86, 96, 96, 100, 608, 108, what that should be. All right, let me write this down somewhere. Write this down, 108. Oh, yeah. 108. So I could resolve that a number of ways, but let's not resolve that. It ain't getting resolved today. So that's fine. I don't need to see that no more. I just need to start working. I've got most everything I need sitting right here, but I am missing my knife, and it's right here. I'm so happy it doesn't, like, it used to get people on like maybe the old AI or maybe the old algorithm or whatever the heck you want to call it. It used to get people for using these right here in a work application. It used to auto flag, and that's absolutely horrible. John, thanks for the follow. Marius, thanks for the follow. I think I already said that about Marius. But yeah, I do have a website. It's literally mybusinessname.com. That's it. That's exactly the way you spell my business. Take away the apostrophes and the spaces and the dashes, and that's it. Just letter for letter, and then .com. That's it. If you were ever curious, that's how to find me. I don't know what it is with these freaking spiders. There's like little tiny baby little spiders, and somehow they get on me from some of my working equipment, and I don't know where it's coming from. But I don't really care about spiders being in my shop, because all that does is just knocks down on the flies and the other small bugs and insects and stuff like that. But when they physically on me, I'm sorry, you got to go, buddy. We're not having this dude walks around with a tarantula walking on him. We ain't doing that. How was the guy that came in a few weeks ago? Got 2 strikers, 65, 18 antennas. What's up, Russell, man? Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out and checking out the video, guys. Appreciate all y'all. Alright, so questions. If you guys have anything you'd like to know and you want me to tell you, then pop out some questions out there. It does not hurt my feelings at all. That's what these lives are for. I like to be able to see that. I don't know how to get back on that, so I can do this. and see those messages, and then I can click, oh, I don't want to click that. Yeah, that's better. That's better, way better. Alright, so now we need our strippers. They're going to be right here. Nope, not yet. Hang on. Getting ahead of ourselves. That's cool, but no, I'm not using that one. I got a little... I actually built this box. I have some extra pieces of solder, heat shrink that was sitting around, and I got sick of trying to dig it out, so I just made a little bin out of a previous bin. You could buy these kits, and I bought a kit, or through another business, I bought a kit years ago, and we already worked our way all the way through that kit, and it's long since done been and gone. But I thought the box was kind of neat, so I kept the box. So now found it around the corner somewhere. I forgot where I was storing it somewhere, but I found it in one of my boxes, and decided to revitalize it. I think it still even had a little bit of heat shrink left in it from where I'd kind of partially rebuilt it before, or it might have been completely empty. I don't remember. It may have been completely empty. Ouch. Yeah, I know, right? It's something else. I think, well, see, here's the thing. You ready for this kind of weird scenario? I can go live all day long, no problems, no issues, no change, no nothing. Anything I possibly want to do, the entire live, works just fine. And then also I can check my eligibility on the live later afterward, and I'm completely eligible, no problems. It's not until I click, what do I click? Until I click push the button to check for live access. Immediately after that, there's some sort of glitch and it kicks me off my live access. Like, the live access doesn't fail, nothing's wrong with it, no issues, no nothing. It's not until the very next day, right before I go live, that it tells me that I'm not able to go live anymore. I don't know what it is. I know it's a glitch, but there's nothing I can do to fix it. And I'm just kind of stuck with it every single time. Drives me nuts. But now here's the thing. I don't get banned from doing lives. I can do lives as much as I want. I just can't do what's called an RTMP live, which is a remote terminal multi-protocol, I guess. That's just a guess. I don't even know if that's what it means. But needless to say, it's what allows me to go live on this platform, where you guys get to see me on this little camera that kind of follows me around and hangs out and does whatever it wants to do. But because TikTok decides, I don't know, it wants to continue having that glitch, I get banned from this literally after I do live one time. I can't do anything. I don't never get banned from it until I go live at least once. And then I click it and it says your live access is restricted. But I can go on a telephone. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how. And I can go live as much as I want on that, and it won't cause no problems, no glitches, no issues. So there's no warnings, no indicators that I've done anything wrong, no violations, no nothing. It's just some glitch in their thing, and I'm sure they don't care at all about fixing it because they want you to be on their platform all the time, which is fine. I mean, I get it. You made the platform. You can make your own rules. But it's just frustrating when you're following all the rules, you're not doing anything wrong, and here it is kicking you off every time anyway. Do I have any barrel 259 connectors? Yes, I do. That's a lot of questions, GWIS. But yes, I do have barrels. So I have a custom adapter drawer. I've got an end connector elbow. I got a barrel PL259 male. I got a barrel or SO239. Another SO239 barrel. Another barrel PL259. Another SO239 barrel. Another SO239 barrel. I mean, if you're looking for adapters, I got DC connectors. I got end connectors to SMA. I got more SMA connectors. to UHF and the N connector. I got N barrels and N to UHF. I've got B and C to UHF and all different configurations as far as that goes. I've got N barrels, N to UHF, and then from 7/16 DIN to male to UHF female. I got a bunch of 7/16 DIN female to UHF male. I guess I can show you that drawer too, might as well. It's right here. And then I got 7/16 DIN male to male, 7/16 DIN female to female, 7/16 DIN male to UHF female, N male to UHF to 7/16 DIN female. I mean, I got all kinds of adapters galore. And that's not even close to all the adapters that I got. I haven't even gotten into my bird collection of adapters. So if you're looking for adapters, I've got adapters. I do not, I do sell them. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. So all I'll do is just order some more. So if anybody was not aware already, I have RF parts. I am an RF supply company. There is a massive amount of RF components that I do not put on my website that needs to be put on there. This is an 1.5" to Bird QC adapter. Of course, I've got all my bird line sections and all that other stuff. And I'll get my camera back since it can't figure out where I'm at. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff. I got the big bird line sections right there. I don't know. Bird cases. This one specifically is a customer's. He already bought it from me. I mean, I don't know. Stuff. I got, what else do I got? I got regular copper terminals of all different sizes. Any size you can really think of. I got 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, all that stuff. Come on back, buddy. You can find me. Thank you. You can do it. Come on, buddy. Thank you. Sorry, my little, I think it was named Rover, my little camera. This is RG-400. I do sell, I can sell RG-142, but this specifically is RG-400. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a massive amount of RF components that I have. If you need parts, I have parts. That's literally the name of my company. Hey, 655, waving a hand, man. Caught me to get back to work. I gotta show some people my stuff. He sent me about 5 messages. Yes, the new meters are drop-in replacements. So if you were to get a digital meter and set it up, you could put it into a digital housing just like this, or a Bird 43 housing digital. It takes 1 screw right here, 1 screw right here. If you get the battery unit, you can set it up right here in this open slot right there. You have to spend $50 more to get the battery unit. If you don't get the battery unit and you just get the regular USB-C unit, you have to drill a 7/16 hole right here on the side, right there on the unit. It will not turn on without having power, but once you have power, you can plug it in and it'll turn on just the same as the battery powered unit will. Yeah, that's how it works. So you have to drill 1 7/16 DIN 7/16 of an inch hole in the side of the regular non-battery unit, and the battery unit, you can put this battery charger on this side or that side. Either one, it just takes up one of your old slug holes and will recharge off of USB-C the same way that this one charges off or powers itself off USB-C. So yes, direct drop-in replacement. If you do not want to drop it in and replace it that way, and you wanted to put it into a custom housing, you can actually change your mind and do something like this. It works off the same 3 screws, 1, 2, 3 screws, 1, 2, 3 screws. Same thing, works the same way. This one is a USB-C also, external powered unit, but I could put a battery in it and it would do the same thing. It would just power on without the need for any external power for at least a month or two at a minimum. Okay, let's get to work. So yeah, 50 ohm coax, yes sir. RG-400 is 50 ohms. So for the guys that were interested, I hope you guys like to see the digital meters. Sorry for the guys who were not interested and got irritated with me for not finishing my coax up. I will get back to work now for you guys. I apologize. But I got questions everywhere. I got to answer them. So we're going to heat this up. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more or try to get the camera to refocus. It looks, is that clear, guys, or is it kind of blurry? I can't really tell. As close as I can get is what it is. We're stuck there. Tell me about the focus. I'm kind of curious if it's clear and easy to see or if it's blurry. That's the only bad thing about having this little bitty computer. I could blow this thing up on a big screen, but then I take a whole screen up where I'm trying to look at your guys' comments. And to me, your guys' comments are a little bit more important than seeing whether the... I mean, probably shouldn't be, but they're a little bit more important to me than knowing whether the thing's perfectly in focus or not. I try to get it to focus, and it looks pretty focused to me, but I don't know for sure. Clear from there. Appreciate you, Russell. Thank you. That is absolutely appreciated. So I've got a bunch of digital birds I got to finish. A lot of these jumpers that I'm actually building right now that look like jumpers. Not all of these specifically, but a lot more that I'm going to be building after this. Another 108 foot of RG-400 is going to be sample line for my external bird meter setups. That one I just showed y'all earlier. So I'll show you an example of a sample line real quick. While I'm building this, I got to finish up this last. All right, I'm good here. So an example of sample line is going to be this stuff right here. Looks super similar to a finished RG-400 jumper, but if you look right here, see that one? And then you look right here, and you see that one. It looks different. If you ever was curious and you wanted to know how it works, you take yourself a bird line section right here, and you go backwards, get it to line up. I can't really do this because I ain't got a lot of length on it. But screws in just like that. Locks into place. So I'll put this over here, put that back over there, and get it out my way. And let's finish up this center conductor. So that's just a little fun fact for you guys. I've shown you guys a few times how to do that, so I don't feel like it's new news to everybody, but it is new news to some, I'll tell you that much. I'll keep that over there, so I got what I need. Awesome, cool. Glad the focus is working good. So that's the camera doing its job. I'm glad. Ooh, excuse me. I forgot I got the face cam. You can't be watching me yawn like that. Oh no. This is what happens when you get impatient. Normally, I'll let it cool just a smidge, and like a dummy, I didn't. So, I ended up bouncing it, and made a nice, tiny little inclusion and bounced the solder up on the exterior of the connector. So, just be a little bit more patient than me. I skipped a step. You'd be surprised how quickly your breath will cool something off. Because my goal was only to get it below like 400 degrees or so. It's not like I've got to get it super cold or nothing. It's just got to solidify. So this one is finished. Let's go ahead and get, not finished really, but it's well underway, that is. Let's get some more done. So I think I timed myself before. I think the time was around 8 minutes per connector. So we'll see if I can beat that today. Okay, why? Why is it that way? So here's the thing. Look at this crap. Look, what have I done specifically on TikTok? That's the question. Like, anybody who's watching my TikTok, I'm kind of done with this. It's kind of pissing me off, to be honest. What have I done that you think would violate anything to do with TikTok's terms and restrictions? What do you guys think? Maybe mentioning the DOT-COM or something like that. Maybe mentioning that. That's the only thing I could think of. But I've went without mentioning it. I went without saying a thing about it at all. I said I sell it, but I didn't say that I sell it specifically myself, right? But it says, because it redirects users to purchase products outside TikTok. Like, what am I doing? Like, sure, you guys want to buy all my stuff, you can. But if TikTok would let me make my daggum TikTok shop, I'd use it too. But apparently there's like this big push for anybody who makes anything even remotely like building something. TikTok is massively restricting that from people now because they want you to, I guess they want their cut of it. I don't care. I'll pay them some money. Who cares? It don't hurt my feelings none. I just want to share the videos with people. I've got the work already. I don't need more work. But yeah, I don't know. That's what it says. So apparently, that is one thing. That is one violation it's saying I'm doing, but I don't know how to fix it. They won't approve my TikTok shop, so whatever. It's their own money they're losing. I need something over here. I don't know. What do you guys think? If I could figure out how to make my TikTok shop work, specifically your TikTok guys, would you guys rather be able to buy off the TikTok shop than just buy off my website? That would be a quick question for you, since I'm already, according to them, in trouble for doing it when I'm not doing it, but whatever. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to tell you guys to buy it. So you guys would like the option to be able to buy from there. That'd be nice. I got to fix my EIN, my business EIN, and my business shipping address is different. Not that that matters through anybody else, but apparently TikTok Shop thinks that it's not okay. I can't ship. I have to ship from the same address that my EIN's under, which is whatever. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell them, to be honest. So I gotta contact the Iris and tell them to change my address. I don't know how hard that's going to be. And then maybe, just maybe, my shop that's already loaded up, already got items in it and everything else will finally get approved. But it's probably because I signed up for the creator platform or the creator whatever on the accident, trying to do a set up the TikTok shop. And maybe because I'm part of their pilot program or whatever, for if I was to advertise products or whatever, I could advertise somebody else's products, but I can't advertise my own. Maybe it's because of that. I think ever since I accidentally clicked that crap, I've had like massively lower viewership in comparison. So anybody ever wants to sign up for like the little shop to try to make a little bit of money off of the selling little other people's items, I don't recommend it at all. Now we'll see if TikTok changes their mind, but I don't recommend it even a little bit. It seemed like there was way less people actually got to see my stuff. But now they're giving me all kinds of rules and other bull crap. It says that I'm doing something wrong. But the bad thing is it's all part of their automated program. There's no live person to get a hold of to fix it. And the one that I messaged to ask to fix it didn't help at all. I finally got a hold of somebody, sent somebody a message through support. As far as that support system, unless you're like this big mega creator, they don't care. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad for like the people that are already following me and the people that already saw what I did and the other times previously that my videos have gotten popular. But my lives, nothing like they used to be. Maybe as soon as I get my own shop up and I can actually put my own little link up for whatever my stuff is, yeah, it might be easier. It might be nicer for you guys. TikTok will get their little cut and they'll be happy and maybe they'll start promoting my business because they're making money off of me now. I don't know. They make money off of you now anyway, because it ain't like I get paid to do these videos. I don't know. Needless to say, I'm not really super concerned about that, so forgive me for, this is my little woes of being, I guess, a pseudo content creator, even though I don't like to be. Slightly fuzzy on YouTube. So copy the YouTube compression thing. That sucks. So that YouTube's getting it kind of fuzzy. I think maybe on YouTube my what do you call it? My limit might be 720p on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure I'm 1080p right now. So I don't know. I'd have to go back and look and see if YouTube lets me go to 1080p. If they don't, that might be the problem. All right. Yeah, it's literally kicking my whole TikTok shop off right now. My TikTok down. Whatever, is what it is. Like the ones that, if you guys, whoever's still in here, if you feel like sharing it, please share it. It would be great because apparently TikTok just told me they're going to stop sharing it right now. Not like I did anything wrong. The only thing I can think of is me saying the .com at the beginning, but it does it regardless of whether I said that or not. It said it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I wasn't doing nothing, just building coax. That's all I was doing. Like, who in the world builds coax on a free on who sells coax on TikTok Shop? I don't know anybody who does that. But I guess I can be the only one. That'll be fine with me. Alright. That was way more than 8 minutes because I whined. I need to get my butt to work. There's a fan below my bench. I just had to plug it in real quick. A non-logged in user joined. I don't know what the heck that's supposed to mean, but if you don't mind, feel free to share the video with your friends. That would be appreciated. TikTok is kind of being stupid right now. Appreciate you, Papa Smurf. Thank you for hanging out. But, dispute the stupid crap. What's up, Ghost Rider? Literally, I clicked a message and now it popped. Now people are actually able to get back in it. I don't know what happened. Hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing well over on TikTok. Hey, what's up, Shane? How you doing, man? I am working on some RG-400 right here. I got to get it all finished up. I got 108 more foot of it to build after this is done. Then I got some 1/2-inch hardline to finish up. Hopefully tomorrow, if my stupid connector will come in. I've been waiting on one connector for this job for like I don't know, 4 or 5 days, driving me nuts. I thought I had it, but I've got every other size except for this size. I got it in flex. I got it in 7/8. I might even have it in, yeah, I do. I have it in 1 5/8. I have it in every single size. I just don't have it in hardline specifically. Drives me nuts when I'm missing a part like that. Alright, so we've got to get a hold of our solder. Is that coax like, yeah, kind of. A little, if you was to see like how small the circle already is, look how much smaller it can get. And you wanted to see how small of a loop it can go in. Like, it can go smaller than my finger is and has no problem. So as far as flexibility, it's flexible. It'll do whatever it needs to do. Now, it's somewhat formable wherever it goes. It will kind of stay in that position. But as far as damaging it and wrapping it up, no, not at all. And it's got a really low friction coefficient, so it's super slippery. This is me trying to hold on to it, and I'm pulling my hand against it and it just slides. Never got bumped. Yeah, no, copy, you never got bumped. I don't know what happened to everybody else. Oh, hey, Timber found me over here on TikTok land. Yeah, I don't know what the heck was happening, man. Or I do know what was happening, but I don't know what to do about it, to be honest. The only thing I can think of that's possibly stopping them from letting me, them taking my documents, is they said my EIN's address doesn't match, or my business submitted document, whatever the heck they said, doesn't match. And it is a different address on there, but I mean, it's literally on my website, it's on my Facebook, it's on my TikTok, it's on my YouTube, it's on my every platform that I got, everything that I use, it's got that address. So I don't understand why that matters, but according to them, it's not good enough for their platform. I can submit all the other documentation, but if I don't submit that document, then I guess it's not what they need. Whatever, it is what it is. All right, so thank you, Timber. Appreciate you liking the live. I guess it helps for sure. Y'all doing that maybe might resuggest my live to somebody else, but I have a feeling it's going to stay down 3 or 4 people for the rest of this live. Yeah, apparently it matters to them. I don't know. Hey, I got 2 Shanes. That messed me up. Shane Hurst and Shane Henry. Yeah, man. What's up, guys? But y'all both from the... I'm going to have to remember that. I got to remember everybody's handles, man. That's what I need to get down. You guys need to start telling me handles again. And I'll start trying to remember that crap. It was fun. I enjoyed that. Because then I memorized Whiskey Man's. Of course, I got Papa Smurfs. It's easy. What else? Apparently it matters to them. They're Papa Smurf. It is what it is, though. If you guys feel up to the task, you can pop your state and your handle out there, and I will do my best to give you a shout back for 1, and 2, I'll try to remember it next time you hop in here. The little ones like to see where everybody's out of anyway, so it's pretty cool to tell them about it. We had, other day, I had Serbia come in here. No, not Serbia. What was that? Belarus. I had Belarus come in here. I've had Lithuania come in here. I've had Denmark come in here. I've had, I don't know, all sorts of other places. Lately, YouTube has been going nuts. Now, not specifically right now, because I got to showing too many bird meters and everything else. But I had like 20 of them guys in here earlier. And TikTok was 9 or 10 or something earlier. 3030 Country Monkey. And that's out of Michigan. I'm pretty sure I remember that. Trucker 254. Papa Smurfs out of the sand pile. Timber, I don't know where the heck you're out of. I know you hopped in the live a lot, but I never really checked with you. Now, you can't be telling me to remember it next time on the live there, Country Monkey. I'm going to have to hear it a few more times and get it embedded in my head. I'm going to try, though. Nah, it's been like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I had 10, 15 people on TikTok. It's because of that whatever restriction that just popped up is why I don't have that many people on there. Now, on YouTube, yeah, YouTube has been, I don't know what YouTube's been doing. I've had between 20 and 50 people hopping into my YouTube the whole live for a long time now. And it stands to reason. There'll be a day or two I don't get people like that hopping on the live. Maybe I'm not doing an interesting video. Maybe I haven't done videos for a week, like a dummy, like last week. Or many other reasons that it could cause it not to not get as much traction. But definitely YouTube has been pretty busy over the past couple months. I mean, I only got like 500 or 600 people on YouTube, and I've got like, I don't know how many freaking views just from lives alone. I get 5,000 views on one live, have like 20 or 30 or 40 people hanging out in most of the whole time. Most I've ever had in there, I think on YouTube was like, it was either 110 or 98 or something like that. And according to these big mega million streamer stuff, yeah, that ain't a lot, but for like just a little small time guy like me putting these coax and stuff together, having less than, what is it, probably 10, 11,000, 12,000 total followers between all my platforms. That's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty exceptional. And then having only 500 on YouTube and having more than a tenth of the people on there. I think at the time I had 100 people watching on YouTube. I had, how many followers did I have, or how many people subscribed to me? I think it was probably 300 or 400 or something like that. 210 Chicago, America's #1 mud duck. Need a quote for 200 foot of 7/8 Harlan. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, appreciate that, Tommy. I did apologize if you've asked me already. I do apologize. It's not saying that you have or haven't, but I have not given all my quotes out here recently, so definitely keep asking. Send me a message, please, Tommy, if you don't mind. Just click send a message on here, and when you do that, I will try to give you a response. Probably won't respond to you this evening unless you want me messaging you at about 2 or 3 in the morning. Hey, thanks, Papa Smurf. Appreciate you sharing it, man. That's awesome. What was I going to say? Yeah, unless you want me messaging you at 2 or 3 in the morning, I can respond maybe then. It might be closer to 4 sometimes. I got a doctor's appointment in the morning, so I don't need to push it too late, but at the same time, I got to get some stuff done. We got to make some accomplishments. Because on that one of those orders is going to be some digital meters. Another order is going to be digital meters. Another order is going to be some just the coaxes alone. Another order is just a single coax. Like this one right here is just a single coax. But I'm going to get as many of these as possible done. And the bad thing is, y'all saw me cut all that wire earlier, or everybody who was in here earlier. I still got 108 foot more of wire to cut after that. Just of RG-400, nothing else. I've got 7/8 order, half-inch flex order, and a half-inch hardline order right now. And then another two half-inch flex orders. I don't know. I got probably 1,000 foot of coax on order at the moment of guys that are waiting for their harnesses to get all built, including the RG-400 that I got right here, I think. It's like 100, 100, 120, another 105, and then, gosh, I don't remember what the other number was. Like 153 maybe. But yeah, I'll shoot you a quote for sure. That's no problem at all. If you want me to do the ends on it, I can give you quotes with the ends. I can give you a quote without the ends, Tommy. When do I sleep? Whenever I can squeeze it in, I guess. When I don't have work, I'll sleep when I'm dead. No. I am trying to get stuff done. I like to finish my orders as quickly as possible. Now, when I get built up on orders like this, I generally will unfortunately end up getting bumped over about a week or two on my orders. So I try to stay around 2.5 weeks, but a lot of times I'll end up closer to 4 weeks on builds like this because there's just always something that comes up. It's just, and that don't happen super often to me. About once every 3 or 4 months, I'll get some orders and they'll just push me behind. Just because just too many people ordered too many big jobs and I didn't push my time up enough, based off of just life happening. Because like I would be a lot further along if last week had went better, but last week didn't go very well because I had to do some R&D, had to do a repair job, had to figure out what the heck was happening with that one. Then had to, what the heck else did I have to do? I don't know. I had to order some more parts. It's just, ugh. When he's not awake, that's when I sleep. Yeah, that's right. When I'm not awake, that's when I sleep. Oh, Lord. I don't know. At some point in time, I'm going to dial a little bit back. But as of right now, we're going to continue to be wide open. Worst case scenario, the quotes are going to be around 4 weeks rather than 2.5 weeks. And that's just is what it is. It's not like I'm trying to take longer. It's just I've got people wanting stuff and I got the ability to do it, and too many people want me to do it at once at the same time. But I don't like being out like that. I always like to be the quicker guy to get stuff done. That's why you'll catch me here working late trying to get all this stuff done, because I like to keep my wait times way down. If I was a little bit less proactive and significantly more lazy, then my wait times would be like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. But because I put these extra hours in doing this stuff, it's how I can keep my wait times down with the workload that I'm taking on. Yeah, called workload. You're right. It's funny how you said that right before I read it. I just read it right when I said workload that I'm taking on. You said because of workload. Yeah, you got it. That is definitely right. There is a finite limit to how much work one person can accomplish in life. There's definitely jobs right now. If I was the type of person to do so, there's whole areas of my business that I would shut down, like just entire areas, because they're not super cost effective for the time versus the labor input and work. But I don't want to be that company. I don't want to be the company that's not willing to do the things for people. So when it comes to the more labor intensive jobs, I'm going to do a lot more research and a lot more looking into like upgrades of materials, upgrades of options. Maybe looking into possibly subbing out some of the work to like a machine shop, especially like the real machine work. Now I kind of did get burnt a while back. I subbed out a little bit of a super simple job, like not a complicated job, but I subbed out some work to a machine shop, and they burnt me on like probably $400 or $500 worth of Teflon. So now I got a bunch of Teflon over here that I can't use. So I had to rebuy a bunch of Teflon. I ain't even told the shop. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much simpler you can get on something. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll deal with them again or not, or if I'll find another shop to do it for me. But I do need some streamlining procedures on some work to be able to make some stuff go faster for me. Technically, they costed me, I think, probably closer to $700 because they ruined all the pieces that I used, or that I got them to build, and they, I think, charged me like $300 to do it or something too. So it's not like they didn't do work; they just didn't do what I told them to do. But at some point, I will find ways to automate. I will find ways. I'll either get a lathe, a little mini lathe, or some stuff, or I will. I don't know. I might train up some young help, and we'll see what happens. But that's still probably a year or two out before I really start doing that. I do appreciate that for sure, man. I do try to do as good quality as work as I can. I try to make sure everything's done properly. That's why That's why right now everything that leaves my shop has my hand on it, and I stand behind my work. If there's a problem with something, by all means, send it back. I did a warranty job on a split feed I did the other day, and I changed the design of it so it'd be even stronger than what it ever was before. So. It was a simple design change, but it worked very well. And I don't know. I'm that way. That's just the way I want to be. I don't want to be known as the company that doesn't do stuff right for people. I've only ever had two interactions that have went bad. One was the customer was a little too rough on something, damaged it. I offered to warranty it, and they didn't take me up on the offer. And I don't really know what happened with that whole situation. I don't think they're mad at me or nothing at this point, but they just decided not to do it. And then another job, the guy, I guess, thought he knew better than me, told me how he wanted to do show me a picture, and then expected me to have a measurement off that picture. Then handled that, did that for him, and then damaged something else on the install when he was building it, and then chose to turn around and blame me for it, and then say I was using some crappy type of connector when I don't. Rather than getting into that conversation with him, I just at that point I just offered him. I said, "Hey, man, at this point, if you want your money back, you can get your money back, and that's what I'll do. I'll sell your harness to somebody else." But he listened to some other person telling him that I sold him something like he said a connector I was selling him was aluminum, and that connector is silver plated brass. So after that part of the conversation, I just is what it is. You can't please everybody, but I try to keep that number as little and small as possible. I mean, there's nothing better I could have done other than offering a full refund and telling them to send me the wire back and whatever, because I don't know. I don't like having people out there that have something that they want to. Even if it's a false claim, I don't like anybody having a chance to say anything negative about my company, because I try my best to make sure I stand behind everything that I do, and I try to make sure that everybody's happy in every way possible. So I don't know. That's only two situations over the course of 5 years that I've had trouble. I've had other like knick-knack stuff over the years. The reason I do my split feeds is because of a customer out of Hawaii. I had a issue with a heat shrinked piece, and I didn't build it as much for a like. No, I did. Whatever. I built it and I set it up, and the way it's set up and the way it was built, it just ended up leaking because he lived in a rainforesty area of Hawaii with a ton of rain, and it just ended up failing. And I'm like, I've got to come up with a better method, because the idea was always that was in my head was always that was supposed to be temporary, but I was still selling it to people, and it shouldn't have been done that way. So that's why I come up with the whole design of doing the split feed the way I do now, where I do a connector based split feed. It's completely sealed and everything's worked up, so it works out good. Yeah, I know. I definitely should get a print if I'm ever dealing with a machine shop. I just thought I could, audibly tell them how to do it and tell them design, because they got something else pretty close for me. They built another little box for me, and they did pretty good with it. It wasn't perfect. I had to modify it too, but that wasn't because of their fault. That was more my fault. But the other was a simple design. It's literally cut pucks out of a long rod, cut it at certain lengths as far as width. Cut the hole to a certain size, no bigger than 11/32. And here they are cutting the daggum hole at freaking, I forgot what the heck it is, over just under. They might have did 11. I don't know. It was something crazy. It was like huge. Alright, so I need to get a... Oh, what's up, West Texas #1? Hope you're doing well, man. You are part of the few that has made it to TikTok, because TikTok has decided that it does not want to share my stuff on their little For You feed right now. It is not in their cards at the moment. So you have found it upon by chance. So hope you're doing well, man. We're working on some RG-400 right here. Yeah, I'll probably deal with a machine shop that will give me a print in the future. But here's the thing, though. I was trying to save money and trying to just do it pretty cheap, because the whole point is I'm trying to increase my production while like just offering the simple, repeatable tasks to a machine shop. Like, hey, do this, do this, do this. And even then, they screwed that up. Not really because of their knowledge, but probably because of my lack of explanation. So I'll have to put a little bit more info in that for sure. I will do what I can. Alrighty. Facebook has been doing really, really well here lately. So thank you guys for hanging out. It has been a hot minute since I had Facebook really, really stay busy for a long period of time. Facebook has always been like in and out, in and out, in and out with people. But you guys have definitely, now, of course, it's probably different guys, but you guys have definitely continued in the rotation with me for a long time on Facebook. So I think that's really cool. Now, part of that's getting more and more people following you too, but still, I mean, I think it's really neat. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, for sure. If you guys got questions about how to build this stuff, I will absolutely go over it. I've went over it many times before. So that's the reason I kind of get to jabbering and don't get to talking about what I'm doing specifically. But I'm happy to do so if you guys want to know. No, West Texas, appreciate you, man. Thank you for sharing. I do appreciate that. Definitely not complaining. It's just TikTok. I'm not worried about it at all, man. Thank you guys, man. Copy the afraid to join people's live stream, man. Hey, thanks for hanging out, man. I do appreciate you. West Texas #1. I'll try to remember that one. I don't know if that's what you go by as far as on the radio or anything like that, or if you're just hanging out from another area of TikTok. But thank you for hopping in here, man. It's appreciated. I didn't catch all the context there, Papa Smurf, but thanks for stepping in there for me and telling him about it. Probably didn't say the right thing. But what's up, K-Flow? Hope you're doing well, man. Alright, so what we're doing today, like I said, is building some RG-400. We're soldering all these connections. I do a little bit of preheat on this just to make sure that the joint is going to kind of wick in the solder. Whenever you're soldering, you're looking for it to kind of wick in just like you would any liquid, and you want it to kind of spread out and then bond to the entire source that I'm trying to connect it to on the back side, on the inside of this connection. I don't want to get too much heat on it where it kind of flows down to the lowest point of gravity. So I have to maintain the heat at a pretty balmy, probably, I don't know, 500 and something degrees. Appreciate the accolades, K-Flow. Hope you're doing well, man. I would be curious, actually. I would like to run a few tests on this in the future. Get me get another flare. I've got a couple flares now. Oh no, one flare now. I don't have a couple. I just have one. I was trying to think about what all I had. But the one that I have, I don't know what the upper range on the temperature is, but it would be nice to do like a little mini short video or so while I'm building this, and to measure the exterior temperature of the connector, just to see at what point it starts wicking properly. Because there's a you'll see how I work. There's a certain way that I work, and I change up what I'm doing once the solder starts acting a little bit different, right? So it would be very cool to kind of get into the sciencey aspect about that and learn exactly what that temperature actually is. Not that it's a super repeatable test, like it still takes a lot of skill to be able to repeat something like that. But it would just be cool information, really. Now, when you get into like other equipment, like reflow ovens and stuff like that, they get real particular with their temperatures. They don't want to tell anybody about it and stuff like that, because that's kind of trial and error, years worth of trial and error for those guys. All right. What happened there? I don't know. Hopefully it don't mess up again. Harbor Freight Central Machine Mini Lathe. Yeah, I thought about that, but I've been looking on Marketplace here lately, and I saw it was like a mini lathe or something like that. I forgot what the heck they called it. It wasn't a Harbor Freight one, but I don't know if you think that one's better than the other. Like if I can find I found a used one and stuff like that. It's probably $800-900 for a little mini lathe, and I thought that was kind of worth it, to be honest. And I thought about just going ahead and ponying up and just buying like an end mill and getting the. I actually found a full CNC. I've got 3-phase on my pole out there. If I really wanted to get into the CNC stuff, I could do that too. But the tooling and stuff like that, I'm just not sure if I could justify the costs versus like the material I'm going to get out of it. Like instead of building like 15 or 20 split feeds like I do now, I'd have to build like, I don't know, 150 split feeds to even halfway justify one run. So I don't know. It would be a curious thing, but I could do all the CAD programs, get everything loaded up and stuff like that. Which I'm not super experienced in CAD, but I could figure it out. And then I think all I have to do is like set my Z-axis, calibrate it whenever I put the first piece in, and then have the tooling run. Of course, you want to stay there while it's working, but I mean, doing like a repeated process of like cutting some Teflon down for split feeds, that would be pretty cool. A lathe combo mill, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. I really don't know how much machining I want to get into. I can get into a lot of it because there's a lot of the design aspects that I could change about some things, and I could even build if I had that, I could come up with a design and build my own design of split feed. I could build my own end terminal. I could build my own. I could do a lot of stuff if I had a daggone thing. Yeah, I could make pucks too. I don't know if I'd try to compete with the market out there now, but I could make pucks also. That would be another simple solution to do that. And there's other designs that I'd want to do inside of a puck to make it. There's certain things I would want to do whenever I built one, versus what somebody else would. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into that market. There's one design puck that I would build right now, and I would love building it. But I don't know if I want to get into that, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not an expert in the machining field. I've got enough knowledge to get me in trouble to start with, and then I would have to talk to. I know enough machinists that I could deal with, that I could they could walk me through the process to some degree. And then I think I've got a couple buddies that have been CNC operators for a while. I don't know if they've done all their own programming and stuff, or if they just run a program and that's all they do all day at work. Because there's definitely a different level of machinist when you got some guys that just push the button and make sure their tool don't mess up. Brass fittings for 3CX 3000, 6000 tubes from lathe, they just use the CNC and they just drop on the bucket. Yeah, I know, that would be super convenient. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what... I like to be an RF supply company. If you got some brass fittings that you're wanting to sell and they're marketable, then I am interested in grabbing them and selling them through my RF supply if you want, Terry. Now, some of that stuff, you probably won't find me as a competitor just because, I don't know, it's just, there's certain things that I'm not going to do. Like, for me, the main thing to do with my stuff is if I could make, I don't know what I would want to make specifically. There's lots of different stuff that would be really nice to make. But the main thing for me would be just hold on, drop my stuff, I'll be back. No problem. Appreciate you, West Texas. Thank you, man. I have the HF lathe. When you take the time to set it up, works just fine. Info readily available. Cool. Thanks, K-Flow. Appreciate you, man. That is nice to know. I don't know if I want to... I just, like I said, I want to speed up the process of some of my stuff. My little machinist bench over on the other side, or whatever you want to call it. My construction bench, whatever, building material bench. I've got a cheap drill press, a cheap compound miter saw, a cheap bell sander, another bench sander, a bench grinder that's been converted over to wire brushes. I've got a mobile router. I don't even have it on a router table. Just got a little mobile router because I do very, very little routing. And then a cheap drill press. And like a lot of that stuff, pretty much, well, not all of it, but a good portion of that stuff could be done through an end mill or a lathe, either one. A lathe would be pretty simple for some of those jobs, and an end mill and lathe combo would be even better. But then here's the thing: if I just went ahead and I found they make a new small digital little mini, what do you call it? A little miniature CNC machine. That's like a desktop based unit. What do you say? Look up local machine auctions. I make brass fittings. Sure thing, I'll send you some. You're good because your tolerances aren't going to be tight. Yeah, for sure. I mean, some of my tolerances, I mean, you might get down to like, say, a millimeter or so, but that's it. We're not getting into thousandths or even 10,000ths. It's just not a thing. So machining super tight tolerances is not a necessary thing. Now, there's very specific dimensions that will have to be met, but even that, I mean, you're talking about, there's a degree of accuracy it can have. I mean, as long as it's say, like I said, within about a hundredth or so, we're good. They don't even need to get into the thousandths. And 3 zeros would be about it. That's about as deep as it's going to get for my stuff. We ain't getting to the 4 or 5 zeros. Run 213, 18 foot in my semi. Never tried RG-400. Is it worth the upgrade? I'm running a Ranger 9994. SWS 1.1 across all channels, which has better velocity factor. So, what velocity factor is the ability for a coax to be known to what degree that the speed of light will change through the dielectric that it runs. So, velocity factor changes on specific coaxes. But if a coax was cut to velocity factor, what that means is that coax is invisible to your system. That's just terminology used. So if you're going for a velocity factor cut, that length you just told me on your 213 is not going to be correct. You're going to be closer to inverting the impedance with what you're doing. But as far as like one specific coax having a better velocity factor than the other, there's not really a thing as far as that's concerned. But something that would be considered would be whether it is velocity factor cut or not. And what I like to do is I like to get down to the nitty gritty with that one. I mean, we're talking about a couple zeros there a lot of times. And for what we do, it's is more particular. But hang on one second. Let me look at my book real quick. I've got to get into the next part of the job, and I don't want to get to blabbering bumping my gums too much and not having nothing to do. Let me let's look at this ticket. So I need to go here, pull this up. So the very next order that I got going on right now, I need to go ahead and finish him up. That's going to be... Did I cut any fives? Oh yeah, I got short ones over here. Where's that at? These are... Did I cut any fives? What the heck would I have done that for? It makes no sense. I put a measurement there. What I got written down? Let me see if I just read it wrong. So, oh, I cut it wrong. That's all I did. That's easy enough. All I got to do is find it real quick. That's pretty cool. It saves me a little bit of length. I'm gonna cut one extra. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm not even gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut one extra out of this one. This extra piece that I thought I had. I'm gonna cut one extra out of it. And get that one done. So this is what happens when you don't read. It's not critical, but I need this, and then I need this. And now I got to find my stash, or I got to reorder some more. I don't know if I stashed it or not. But yeah, RG-213 inherently by itself is not a problem. The concept of running a cut that's not a velocity factor cut can cause you a problem. Your 1.1 doesn't give you really a whole lot of context. What you would want to know is whether you still have reactants in the system or not. Oh, where are you at? I can see you. There we go. Thank you. Give me. Alright, got that one. That's done. Now set that over there. Now I need to have one more small piece like that. That would be wonderful news for me. But that one's too short for what I need. If I had one more short piece, I can go ahead and get this job done without doing anything else. And I think, I don't know, maybe I should measure that one and cut it. I don't know if I want to do that or not. That's a bit of a waste of money. There's some more RG-393. There's some more. Hey, that was that microphone I was looking for. I have no clue why I bought that microphone, but whatever. I own it now, so might as well. Okay. So I'll look through later in just a little bit and find what I need there. But I do got what I need to go ahead and put this one together. So, next, we need a zip tie. We're going to go ahead and put together one of these digital bird meter setups right here. Hey, Papa Smurf, thank you. What a mess TikTok is. I don't know what's going on with TikTok there, Robbie, but thank you for hanging out. Maybe this is not your thing, maybe it is. We're working on some RG-400 right here. Nope. oh, okay. What the heck, man, Timber? How's that supposed to work? You got like 2 accounts. Well, man, ain't nothing wrong with that. So, What did it do? Kick you out there, Robbie? Wow, how, low, low. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. I don't know if I said that right or not, but hello, hello. Your email's booted? Well, that's weird. Hey, thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate y'all. Hey, West Texas is back. What's up, man? But Gilbert, yeah, man, shoot, message me anytime if you'd like to get some coax. RG-400 is going to be smaller. It's going to have a better friction coefficient. It's going to have a bit better UV protection and design. It'll have, I mean, very similar loss, but a lot smaller coax. Power handling, your limit on this, according to the manufacturer, is about 1900 average. I'm going to say about 2000 peak or so. I wouldn't run anything larger than that off this wire. I mean, you could, but it just, all it's going to do is just heat up the center conductor. And that's going to be loss that you'll have. That's not really ideal, and it's really hard to measure. Hey, you think the quality is better on TikTok? You said that it was kind of a little bit fuzzy on YouTube. What do you think? I'm kind of curious there, Timber. It thinks me signing in with my email. Oh, whatever. That's stupid. Just do all their stupid authentication bullcrap and just deal with it. That's how they work sometimes. Whatever. But yeah, the biggest thing you're looking for in a mobile is to try to get reactance out of a system, and you're also, and the way you want to try to do that is try to eliminate any and all common mode current, or the benefit in that is you'll eliminate any and all common mode current. That also will allow you to not trick your equipment. Velocity factor coax allows you to kind of follow that a little bit better. You can easily trick your equipment when you're trying to invert the impedance or move it around somewhere else on the Smith chart on accident. So coax becomes part of the tuned antenna system, and that's a problem. You don't want that to happen. So ideally, that's the benefit of the very real benefit of doing a velocity factor coax, because what that does is makes the coax as close to invisible as possible to the frequency that you're operating on, especially if it's a mono-banded setup, and it allows you to tune your system without the coax as part of the equation. Typically, if you're using any sort of analyzer, if you do your reading on the analyzer, it'll say this analyzer is to be tested at what's called the feed point. The feed point is directly at the base of the antenna. That's not mentioning coax. It's not putting any coax in line or anything like that. So when you do that, you have to take precautions, because coax can transform the impedance if you run something incorrect. Oh, I have no excuse, West Texas. It is even worse over here. I'm in Georgia, so yeah, it's significantly worse over here for time. Well, I mean, what, 2 hours worse over here? I have no excuses. I take all the blame and I accept it. I've got all kinds of crap to build, so we got a big pile of coax already built. That's the pile that's finished, or mostly finished, not completely. And that's the pile I got to work with. Copy, you're messing around. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, so YouTube land's building back up little by little. What did he say? It's better. Cool. Thanks for letting me know that, Robbie. Appreciate that. Or Timber. I'm still gonna try to call you Timber unless you want me to call you Robbie. What brand connector do I use? I use a silver-plated Teflon connector is what I use on this one. I will use a some unobtainium if somebody wants me to, but the connectors I use now are some silver-plated Teflon connectors. I order them from a company out of the U.S. As far as the brand, I don't know. I don't know what the brand is. I'm mainly focused on the quality. There's a lot of silver-plated Teflon. A lot of companies out there that claim to build it that way. But this stuff seems to hold up pretty well, because you can obviously see I'm beating on it right now with a torch, and that's pretty darn aggressive. Most coax connectors that are claiming to be Teflon, you'll watch that Teflon, in quotations, melt. So that is not Teflon, obviously. I've had a few. I've even had a one or two Amphenol parts that pissed me off that way. I bought them as Teflon, and they were not Teflon. They were obviously nylon. But I rolled with it and just modified my design slightly. This is really an overkill design with what I'm doing. Whoop whoop! Got the other account back. What are we doing since today's tomorrow? I know, right? I'm already awake since it's already tomorrow. I'm ready to go. Get a doctor's appointment in a few hours, and I'm good to go. Now, it'd be nice if I could sleep between now and then, but hey, I've done worse sometimes. I'm not the one to sleep, like, to not go to sleep, though. I will absolutely, even if I got 4 hours, good 4, maybe 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to go to sleep no matter what. If I've got 2 hours, it's kind of questionable. I'm probably just going to grin and bear it, because it's doubtful I'll wake up. Appreciate you, Russell. No problem. Now, if you want to see some of my unobtainium, I can show you some of my unobtainium over here. Let me grab one of them out real quick. These boogers are almost impossible to get a hold of. This is what I call my unobtainium right here. Dun, da, da, da. Silver plated Amphenol connector. I believe it's a gold tip pin. It could just be a brass tip pin. I'd have to look up the research on that. I thought in the past it was gold, but I think I looked up something that said it was brass. Super, super hard to find. Original Amphenol Teflon is a pain in the neck to find that stuff. But yeah, I call it my unobtainium. I'll do it on my RG-393 builds and stuff like that. And if somebody wants to pay an upcharge, I don't care. I'll put a piece of RG-400 together with it. Some of my unobtainium. Luckily, all my coax, all my connectors, all my pieces and stuff, I bought probably, I don't know how much I bought. Waffle House run. That's funny. That's hilarious. Oh Lord. Yeah, I ain't making a Waffle House run because I've got to come back and work. I can't go back. I can't go out and have to run back to the bathroom. That's the problem with Waffle House with me. You better be near a daggum toilet because it's gonna clear you out. It'd be good going down, but whatever else is down there is coming out. Alright, let's get this joint soldered up right here. But I try to use Amphenol on most all my stuff if I'm using it. But Amphenol right here, if I just use your regular Amphenol connectors, they would just melt. I couldn't use them on this specific coax. I have to find a silver-plated Teflon connector at the absolute minimum on these. So now I'm going to do an absolute sacrilege thing, and I'm going to do it just because I don't have enough coax just sitting here to be able to finish this job. And I'm going to, let me just look and see real quick what I quoted. So measure this off real quick and see what I got. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give him a couple. I think I'll do it this way. Let me look, see what he ordered. Let's take a look real quick. Whoops, don't do that. We're not trying to click any of that stuff. So there, split, cut, dual. All right, I've got to do it. I'm gonna hurt my own feelings. You guys ready to cry with me? Because I'm doing it. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it a little. Nah, I gotta do it. Whatever. You guys ready? Bam. Oh, hurt my heart. I just cut a completed coax connector. Can't believe I did that. But I gotta finish this build, so let's get it done. Buggy platform. You said you fixed it. What'd you fix? I cut it. I can't believe it, but I did it. Terry's trying to save my end. Yeah. Hey, guy. I have a Helix with PL59 ends and need to join another piece together. Can you suggest a barrel connector that can handle watts? Let me give you some bad news. No. The PL59 is a problem platform itself. So let me see if he got two digitals. Let me look. This customer digital times 2. Yep. Hang on a second. Let's hang on. Let's pause this camera real quick. You can pause. Pause, buddy. Thank you. Stay there. We call that little camera, I think we're going to name it, or it has already been named. Whether I choose to accept that name or not, I don't know. But it's been named, this little mini camera, it's been named Rover. I'll let you guys decide if that's a worthy name or not, and we will do it. Alright, so let's zoom out real quick so you guys can see what's happening over here. So this is a digital Bird 43 setup. Actually, not really. It's a digital custom Bird because it can be used on a 100 UA platform or the 30 UA platform, so it can be used all the way up to a 250,000 watt element. It's a copy of the worthy name. Windows just ate the dustbin and blue screened it. Oh no, the whole computer? That sucks. So yes, they do make a splice connector for 1/2 inch Helix. What I would highly suggest for you to do, Moonlighter. Hey, Moonlighter, you're popular, man. If anybody didn't know, Moonlighter has been featured in the RF Supply a couple times. And I've been meaning to tell you, Moonlighter, that you've got about 300,000 people done seen your face or so on between Facebook and TikTok and everything else. I am looking for a drill, and it is not in the place it's supposed to be. It's way over here. But yeah, what I would do is get a 7/16 DIN male and a 7/16 DIN female, and I would just splice them together that way is what I would do. I'd put 2 new connectors on it. What Terry's talking about doing is putting a little splice kit in line, which is a solid connector that connects both of them together. But me personally, I would do just a DIN connector on each side, because the DIN connector is good for about 8,000 average, plus 1/2 inch hardline is good for about 8,000 average or so. So they would fail at basically the same power level, and there would be not a whole lot of need for any problems. Also, a 7/16 DIN male and a 7/16 DIN female. The cost is going to be about $20 a piece. So you're looking at $40 in connectors. The splice kit, I don't know how much it's going to cost you, but it might cost you more than that. I'm not sure. Bumped in and it ate the bin. Oh, that sucks, man. Now, well, blue screen of death could be your RAM, though, for sure. I don't know if you responded to my comment about your popularity or not, there, Moonlighter. But actually, let me look it up. Hang on. We gotta tell Moonlighter how popular he is. You ready, guys? If you guys have seen, let me go right here. Here's my RF Supply. Let's go over here to just reels by themselves. Let's go to, where's this video right here? That is South Carolina. No, it's North Carolina. There's Gulfport. There's, yeah, New Orleans. So right here, Moonlighter, you're in. You can even see that. Holy crap, that's bad. So let me do it on this one. So this video right here, I'm showing Drifter's truck. It's the NOLA 2025 truck tour. Moonlighter's in this video, and you got 248,000 people that saw your video there, Moonlighter. And then I think you were in another video too. I don't know where it's at, but it was us walking around, and that was, where is that one at? Where is it at? It's supposed to be over here. Oh yeah, and you got 2,000 people saw you on that one. So, and I don't know how many on TikTok. So yeah, you got, appreciate you, 3030. Thanks for hanging out, man. It's absolutely appreciated. Harbor Freight Machine. Wonder Brad out of Connecticut. I'll have to remember that. Wonder Brad out of Connecticut. Copy of South Texas. 254 out of South Texas. 3030 Country Monkey. Alright, cool. So, we've got to build these real quick. So, we're going to utilize the super low friction coefficient of this. What I really like to do on these, I'm going to show you guys. Did I do it on this? Yeah. What I really like to do is this. Set up connectors on the back. That way you can disconnect your sample line and separate it. But this customer wanted to spend less money and save some money. So, I have to do whatever I can to save them as much money as possible. Lost your Galaxy and Connex not too long ago. That sucks. But yeah, I thought you'd like that, Moonlighter. But yeah, my favorite thing to do would probably be just to send you 2 connectors. I'd send, if you're capable of putting the ends on yourself, then I would do a 7/16 DIN. I would do a DIN male, and I'd do a DIN female. It cost you $40 in connectors, and it would splice it together pretty well. And then if you ever needed to unsplice it, then all you would have to do is take your connectors apart, and then you are good to go. You have 2 separated harnesses. The 7/16 DIN connector is good for handling lots of power. It's a very common connector and easy to get your antennas with that connector on it. I can build you a connector-based split feed, and you can separate it that way too. It's just convenient. It works out great. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put some zip ties on this. And what those are going to do is hold this coax as much as possible in place and get this thing to work. But that was just on one platform. I don't remember if he got popular on another platform or not. I don't know if the TikTok video took off or not. But I think, I don't think it did. Probably 3,000 or something on that one. Not quite as. So, there's 500 on that one. No, another 1,000 maybe total. But yeah, 248,000 on Facebook, so that's pretty cool. So, who else has got to say you had 250,000 people seen your face before? There's about 4 people on my RF supply that can say that. One of them, he's come in on a couple of my other videos, and he's probably, as of right now, I think 650 plus another, I think 200. I think he might be on that one. I don't remember. I don't know. He's probably got 1 million people who've seen his face. That was pretty cool. I was working on a project for a bit and left the door unlocked. Ooh, no, that sucks. Alpha 61 Bravo Nancy, I believe. What is N? Is it Nancy? I don't remember. Hello. Hope you're doing well. All right. YouTube land, thank you guys for hanging out. Hope you guys are doing well. Trucker Jeremiah, hello. Hope you're doing well, man. Apparently TikTok decided that it did not want to, didn't like me mentioning a .com, I guess, is what I mentioned, or either didn't like me mentioning, I don't know, maybe I mentioned Facebook. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's me mentioning Facebook or something's pissing it off. I don't know. But needless to say, they restricted my live because they said I was trying to sell outside of their platform, which they don't approve me for. So whatever. I had like a 10-minute rant on that earlier, so I'm not going to talk about that no more. So we're just going to let that one lie. All right, so I've got to build a quick adapter, and I'll show you guys how that works on this digital bird meter setup right here. And this customer also bought a something pretty cool. I mean, excuse me. I think it's cool, but I mean, it's very, very common. You guys have seen it before. It's not like this. It's going to be less of this, but it's just a dual line section. That's what he bought. So he bought the whole combo, whole kit and caboodle. And you can see how it all comes together. Okay, let's do this side first. I'm still waiting on some parts for the other one, so it is what it is, and this is how it's going to work. I should have messaged him and asked him if he wanted to add something else, but I'm kind of stuck right now, so it is what it is. Alright, so now I think we'll keep it as short as possible. I think it should be fine. All right. Papa Smurf over there laughing at my woes, all my problems I'm having. Poor pitiful D-Win, he's getting reprimanded by TikTok. All right, so So I, at some point in time, will try to do more of these lives with just the bird meters, but I've got so many things to build that I've got to do as much as possible. So I'm going to try to finish this guy's order because he has messaged me and he's ready. And I think he was super early on. Not really early on, but he was early on in my order quotes. So I need to go ahead and get him finished based off of what my quotes were. And it's not a ton that I have to finish to get him done. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it done. That's why I went ahead and cut that wire. Even as unfortunate as it was having to cut that wire, I needed to go ahead and get it done. I can cry later. Waste my own 8 minutes. But it's alright. Not the end of the world. So now we need to grab some more over here. These little ones right here. If you guys hadn't figured, I have moved the headphones up to the top of my head. Tell me if the audio is better or worse. Took a minute to get back to you. Get back. See you at Rejects. Can bring you the Splice 7/8 connector for the half coax. Okay, hold up. Can you bring the Splice 7/8? Yeah, I can bring some connectors if you want, but I can probably ship them before that for like $10 if you want, Moonlighter. That's up to you. It's a little bit to remember to put that stuff on the plane and stuff. And like I said, I could probably ship it to you all the way up there for like $10. So that's up to you if you wanted to get them a little faster. But whatever you want to do, I will do my best. You'll have to remind me right before his event, because I will leave out for Rejects on probably either Thursday night or Friday morning. I'm not really sure. But whenever I leave out, just try to message me that Thursday or something, and I'll try to pack my bag with it in there. I need to look up coax connectors for RG-8X. I have coax connectors for RG-8X. Now they're a bit overkill. Just gonna be fair with you. Mine are Teflon, so they're not. I mean, I'm putting 500 degrees on mine, and they're still not failing. So you could probably use a little bit cheaper connectors if you wanted to. But I do have them. If you wanted to buy the nicer ones from me, that's up to you. at some point in time, I'll probably try to carry the cheaper ones, but I haven't done that yet. So this is what it is, unfortunately. Splice. Burn it. Burn it down. Okay, cool. Got what I need. Rotor. To the right, to the right. And I messed around and did that twice. So now I got to chop this off. Choppy, choppy. I bet you some of you guys who are paying attention close enough are like, man, why did he put a second piece of heat shrink on that? And the simple answer is it's late and I didn't look. Yeah, I do have, like I said, I do have some nice PL259s if you want them. Like if you wanted to save some money though, I'm probably not your guy. But I would be happy to get you some if you wanted them. RG-400 gets a little warm at 1500. 1500 average or 1500 peak? That'd be my question there, Terry. I would be curious on that one because I'd like to hear that one. All right, so now we've got to go ahead and start splitting these feeds. So the way I'm gonna split it is probably back something like that. It'll be fine. Average, yes, 1500 average is a little bit much, just to be quite honest with you. According to the manufacturer, it's rated at 1900 average, so you could technically go more than that. But what's going to happen, even 393, it's rated at 15,000 average. If you run 393 at 15,000 average, you're going to have a lot of loss. What's going to happen is it won't arc. It'll run it just fine. But what will happen is you'll feel the whole wire will get hot, and that's because the center conductor itself is getting hot because it's having to transfer so much RF current that the center conductor is not large enough to do so. So you end up having current losses rather than having dielectric breakdown. So you got a coax that's working, but you got current losses. The coax is just getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and what happens with heat? Heat is loss. The more heat you got, the more RF loss you got in your system. Even though it's not calculated or thought of as loss, it's still loss. It doesn't disappear just because it doesn't seem like it is, or because the data sheet doesn't say it. Heat is absolutely loss. So I would probably, I mean, you could run it that way, but just keep that in mind in a general sense. Like I said, according to the manufacturer, it's rated at 1900, so it probably will never fail. But if you had an opportunity to change to something larger, then you might do it just because you might see better performance. I'll give you an example. I had a guy running a larger piece of equipment on a site, and he ran a piece of RG-393 as a jumper. It was getting warm. Couldn't trying to get everything to, I forgot, tune out and trying to get it all to work, and just everything just didn't kind of want to line up. Literally changed up to some 7/8 on the jumper, and all the issues went away, and it never arced, it never failed. So, just as much as I'd love to advocate for RG-400 for everything, if it's getting warm, that's definitely a warning sign. Going 300, 500, I think yeah, probably. You should probably jump up to 393. That's what I would do. It'd be an easy jump up. That, or if you wanted to save some money, you could do some 1/2-inch flex or something like that. Won't cost quite as much money as 393, and still pretty flexible. Does a pretty good job. Okay, I'm going to a taller tower. I'm short on coax links, so I need to splice. Copy that. Yeah, if you want to get some whole coax from me, I sell all the coax. If you're looking for 1/2-inch flex or 1/2-inch hardline, I can build you a custom harness. Or if you wanted to splice in what you got, I've got, like I said, 2 7/16 DIN connectors I could sell you. You'd have to install them yourself, as long as you're capable of doing that, or watching any of my videos. I got some explanations out there. you could put on those 2 connectors and you'd be just fine, and it would splice just fine. If it's at the base of your tower, you can tie it in with a tower ground. If it's at the entrance to your shack, then you could tie it in with a ring ground system around the shack. You could utilize it in a lot of different ways by doing that. And a friend says his antenna likes no more than 700 watts. So that's highly subjectional. Depends on what type of antenna it is, what kind of design, stuff like that. There's definitely antennas that do have a very specific power limit. There's other antennas that can run, I don't know, 15 plus thousand watts to run with no problems. It just depends on the design, the Q, the whether it has any sort of high current nodes in it anywhere, or any high voltage nodes in it too. So there's some antennas that will see a lot of high voltage at the very end, and I mean high voltage RF, not high voltage in general. What? Oh yeah, somebody just talking to somebody else on my post. Okay, never mind. He's literally calling out somebody else's phone number in a comment. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure what he's doing there. Yeah. Dipole inverted V. So yeah, whenever you start doing certain antenna designs, you can start having failures once you start trying to run too much on it. And also, it's limited by the conductor size on it too. Has some dirty connections on it now. It's fine. Was it the RAM that was doing that, Timber? I have Heliax, so the 7/16 splice. That's fine. Yeah, if you want to order the 7/16 splice, I can ship it probably. I mean, realistically, I don't really care. I can ship it tonight if you wanted to. If you go to my website and just type in 7/16 den male and then do that times 1 and order 7/16 den female times 1, and you just checked out on the website, then I could probably ship it tonight. If you wanted me to build you an invoice, I couldn't finish that tonight because I'd have to send you an invoice after I finish. And that'll be later. But it's under 1/2-inch connectors, and you just put in the notes whether it's 1/2-inch hardline or 1/2-inch flex when you go to check out. Uh-oh, TikTok already warned me. Says I can't be selling stuff on my website, even though I'm talking to somebody on Facebook. I'm joking. It hadn't warned me again. It just warned me that one time earlier. I think it's crazy, man. You can't even talk about your dad having a business. You know what I'm going to do in the future. D1 has an email from me to still look at tonight. Email from you? Did you send an email or did you send a message on Facebook? Hold up here. I'll look at it, but I ain't able to respond to it right now. But I want to make sure I got it. Oh, cool. Got it, Timber. I don't know. Might be able to do something like that, Timber. I'd have to look into the details of that, kind of figure out what would make sense. But there's a possibility for sure. I could figure something out. Now, if I don't respond to you back in the next, I don't know, day or two there, Timber, definitely send me another email as a follow-up. Because if I'm looking at an email at 2 a.m. my time, then there is a chance that I'll forget about it and won't get to it. So I will try my best to remember it, even though because I've already seen it. But I am not claiming to be perfect. I will. I've done that on a few occasions. I've had some stuff that people were trying to get me to figure out and stuff like that for them. And here I am, like 2 months later, like, oh crap, I forgot to do that. Like that sudden realization. Now on orders, I do pretty good. I've only screwed up on a couple orders, and the only reason I really screwed up on them is because I didn't do them as an order. I've done a couple like orders as like pickups and stuff, and I've had a couple guys kind of get a little tight on time because of me dropping the ball on some of those because they're not sitting there in front of my face. I built a whole custom platform just so I don't have to deal with that. I've got a website set up. I've got invoices set up. Everything I do, I created as a ticket. There's a place there. All my tickets go all in one place, so nothing gets lost. And then when some people talks about doing something custom, all I do is I build an invoice, and I put it all on the invoice, and then it's in the same spot as the tickets. There's only a very, very few orders that I let go anywhere else, just simply because once you get so many orders going at a time, I mean, when you're 15, 20 orders deep and you're 10, 15 quotes deep, it really gets tough, just being quite honest. It's not like they're impossible to remember, but there's nuance to every one. Like this one's 10 foot, this one's 12 foot, this one's one connector, this one's two connector, this one's got a adapter on it, this one doesn't have an adapter on it, this is a coax, this is a bird meter setup, this is just some velocity factor jumpers and stuff. So there's just this is just the bird movement by itself. This is an order that wants to be quoted to New Zealand. This is an order that wants to be quoted to Australia. This is an order that you're quoting to, where the heck else did I quote to? I don't know. Scotland. I've quoted to Canada. I've quoted to lots of different places. Furthest I've shipped to, I guess, is Australia. You'd think New Zealand's further, but New Zealand's actually closer. I think. Yeah, New Zealand's closer. The opposite side of the world for me, from where I'm at right now, they call it the Antipodes or something like that, is actually off the eastern seaboard of Australia. All right. Next, let's get this one done. All right, so yeah, I know. I have to have like a system, like where stuff is there, especially when it comes to like the technical aspect as far as the business stuff. Business has to be business, like pleasure has to be pleasure, and I have to separate it that way. I've had some guys, like back in the day, I used to do like, you can send me some money here, or you can do this there, or something like that, and I'll still break it back out. I get my little red book that's got all kinds of different orders that I've done over the years, and this is how I used to keep track of all my daggum orders that I had to get done. But man, that's a nightmare, because then you got to write. I spent half a day writing the daggum orders down to make sure everything, not half a day, but I don't know, about an hour or two writing everything down, making sure everything's correct, making sure everything was done, and then looking through that order list to figure out what all I needed to order. It was just, it sucked. Now I just try to overstock my orders so I don't have that too much to worry about. Like my next order of RG-400 or so, it's like 1,000 foot. So that's generally what I'll have on hand. All of my other orders are done per order basis. So every time it's ordered, within a day or two, that whole specific harness is on the way. So, all my connectors and all my stuff, I've got overstocked. I probably got 500 or 600 connectors in here. I don't know what else. I got adapters for days. I got probably, I don't know, probably at least $2,000 or $3,000 just in adapters. That are just sitting in drawers. Money wasted in a way, because they're not going anywhere. But for me, it is security had and not money wasted. Because there's security there. I've got every adapter. Hey, do you got this adapter? Yes, I have this adapter. Hey, can you test this? Yes, I can test that. Hey, can you hook up to this? Yes, I can hook up to that. I've got everything I need to do most any job that I need to do. So there's not really there's very few connections that I'll be missing. So, all Alrighty, that is good enough. I ain't, well, yeah, I'll do it. Who cares? I was debating on whether or not I was going to cover this last little piece up, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Might as well. Doesn't take a whole lot of extra time. It's easy enough to do, and I'll show you how these digital bird meters connect after I'm done. Easy enough to slide on there. Now, the one thing I don't have a crazy overstock on is every single individual size of heat shrink in multiple colors. So if I had a black and a red, that'd be pretty cool. Or a black and a white, that'd be pretty cool also. But the only white I have is in a smaller size, and it's not large enough to do whatever I needed to do right there. So, whatever. Can't get too overzealous with everything. You gotta stay within reason. Eventually, I might just grab some more heat shrink just because I am particular about stuff like that. But I can't get too crazy with that stuff. Not all the time, every time with every single piece. It's just there's too much money involved. It's like me whenever I'm doing my all my coax brackets and stuff. I won't buy the U-bolts for the customer. That, like, if they have a Mako antenna, if they have a square boom, if they have a Gizmochi antenna, if they're using 1 1/4 boom, if their boom's a little bit thicker 3-inch boom versus a thinner 3-inch boom, whatever. If they're using some crazy irrigation pipe that's 3-inch versus that's not exactly 3 inches, some oddball size or whatever. There's all kinds of different examples of things like that. And I won't get the clamps. There's just too many different U clamps. So what I do is I'll build the split feed. I'll have the connector. I'll have the clamp. I'll have everything set up, and I'll tell them they just need to get 2 clamps per bracket and drill their holes for their clamps, whatever size clamp that they use. And that's just the way I do it. That is a level of ordering that I don't want to have to do. I'd have to have $3,000 or $4,000 worth of just U clamps just sitting here. And then I would have to make sure I get the right U-clamp for every single individual job. I'm like, nope, that's good. I'll tell you where to buy the cheap U-clamps at. Hey, thank you, man. That is awesome. Appreciate you, Timber. That is a new record for four viewers. Y'all are kicking butt. I'm sure your finger is working itself out for sure. Hello there, troubleshooter. Waving a hand, man. Appreciate you. All right, cool. No problem. Appreciate you, Moonlighter. I will send you a, what is this? Yeah. I will send you a, don't forget. I'll send you an invoice at some point. I'll just send it, just send me your phone number on that same message there, Moonlighter. And then I will just send you an invoice. You pay the invoice. I think it'll be $50 and some change. I don't know exactly how much it's going to be. Probably, my guess, I think is like $51.50 or something like that. Somewhere close to that. There might be less money than that. I'm not sure exactly. No, I think it should be $51.50. $10 to ship, $40 for the connectors, and then $1.50 for a card. Anybody in the future, if you guys are ordering orders from me, hey, what's up, Brian? Hope you're doing well, man. Brian, I don't know why I don't remember to ask, but what's your handle? I want to try to call you by your handle if I can remember. Anybody in the future who makes orders with me, if you remind me and say, I want to sign up for points, right now, currently, if I build you an invoice, it will not sign you up for points. But I'm pretty sure if you sign up for points before I make the invoice, it'll give you the points. Actually, it's called Watts. Actually, it's the I forgot what the heck the name was. I made it some goofy name or something like the Watt Club or something, RF Junkie Club or something. I don't remember. But if you sign up for Watts or points, that is, you'll get money back off on your next sale. So if you buy something from me, you'll build up watts, and as you build up enough watts, you can cash those watts in for money. So it's just basically a points program. I think it's pretty cool. It's just to reward you guys for spending money with me. and I'm pretty sure the repayment rate's pretty good. Actually, I know it is good. Actually, so it's for every bit of money you spend, you get 3% back from me, from my company. I didn't raise any of my prices. I did not. A lot of people get confused when they see that stuff, but I didn't raise anything on my prices. I eat all that stuff. So basically, if you that glitched up, that was weird. BR549. I'll have to try to remember that. If you ever hear the BS on 7200, oh my gosh, yeah, 7200 is nuts. Cussing, language, all kinds of stuff. It's 3/8 RG8X connectors. Yeah, kind of. No, RG8. That's RG8U is 3/8 connector. Trucker Jeremiah. That's RG8U is what that would be. RG8X is going to be around 1/4 inch or 0.250 in diameter. Yeah, it sucks. Hey Timber, I got something for you. You ready for? I got something for old 7200. Here you go. Hang on a second. Let me go over here. Let me get this thing to focus. Here you go, Timber. Got something for the old 7200 folks over there. If I can get this stupid thing to focus. Come on, dummy. Sometimes this camera is just stupid. There you go. That's for the 7200 folk. Alright, so yeah, get you something that takes that right there, Timber, and that'll knock them right out. They won't be able to say nothing. Everybody might be looking for you, but they'll knock them right out. Yeah, nobody'd hear them, that's for sure. All right, get your old AM transmitter. Throw a little bit of extra, or knock a little bit of extra tank out of that booger. Have some fun. Yeah, we're working on a cool little digital setup today. Doing some digital bird. And then also something else for you guys to know. It's like just a little word of advice. I wholesale everything that I own. Like if there's anything that I have, I will wholesale it. If you guys can secure enough of items, no matter what it is, I will wholesale it to you. I don't care what it is. There's a whole wholesale contract that I have for everybody. I'll have to probably go over a bit more nuance and details of it. But yes, I will. I'm an RF supply company. So me specifically being a supply company, I am absolutely 100% willing to wholesale anything. So if you want to buy enough stuff, then you will absolutely be able to do that. So I don't think I go over that enough. So I think I'm going to explain that in a little bit more detail in the future. But I even try 400 is kind of big. 1/4 says 400. 400 is 0.190. Now, if it's talking about 0.400, that's going to be the wrong thing. 0.400 is too big. That's basically saying it's RG-213 size. But 0.190 is RG-400. 0.240 is RG8X. Whatever the heck 3/8 is. 3 divided by 8. 0.375 is RG-213 and RG8U and stuff like that. and RG-214 and RG-393 and a bunch of other stuff. Oh yeah. What did I do that for? That was dumb. Alright, let me go back over here. Do you have any Yaesu rotor cable? I do not have really any good rotor cable right now. I have some rotor cable, but I don't think it's the right size. So I would hold off. At some point in time in the future, I will absolutely get a hold of some rotor cable. But right now, I'm just in between. I've got like 20 or 30 rotors. I probably should sell rotor cable, but I just don't have none. There you go. Look, borrow the Bangor, Maine VLF station right there. See if you can throw a tuner on it, and it runs about 2 megawatts. It's a little low in the kilohertz, but you'll have to bump that booger up to 7,200, and you'll have some fun there. Or run up to where the heck is that one in Alaska? Grab that HARP system. They run at about, I think they run at about 28 megahertz or so. Get you some of those. I think they run I think a 50 or 100 3CX or 4CX 10,000s is what they run. And they run that around, I think HARP is 28 megahertz, I'm pretty sure. Nah, you're cool. Is your power supply wired, ready to go for 14.5 volts? Yes, sir. So if you was to order a supply from me, it is a bare bone supply. It is not nothing fancy by any means. There are other guys that are willing to build them in cases, cabinets, and stuff like that. But yes, you could get one from me. And it would be just 14.5 volts. I think I made a mistake. And I'm pretty positive I did. Not like it's a big mistake, but it just irritates the living piss out of me whenever I do that. So I'm going to have to... I know it. Ain't no way. I'm positive I made a mistake. So all I'm doing is just cutting this back off of here. Annoying as piss, but whichever. I gotta get a hold of this backside and spin this booger off. There we go. Irritates me a little bit to have to do that, but it's alright. At the end of the world, it's just me being unattentive and not paying attention to what I was doing. So I grabbed 2 different size connectors and I stuck that booger on the wrong one while I was bumping my gums. Nobody else's fault. Literally just me being late at night, not focusing fully. See, no problem. Appreciate you, Moonlighter. How you liking the new ears on your new antenna? Doing good. Definitely can hear a bit better for sure. Alright, so I need my little... Right there. Alright, so... it's just a mono-banded setup that I'm running some prototyping on. It's a copycat of an old Sigma 4. Is what it is. It's just a much beefier version. I have a test antenna platform that I run, and it's a 107-foot mobile crank-up tower is what it is. So I can run a bunch of different antennas at different heights and see how they work. I've got 100 megahertz Yagi. I've got a couple different mono-banded 10, 11 meter stuff. And then, I don't know what else I got. I got a bunch of other stuff. I could have got a bunch of, what the heck would it be? I don't think it's TDMA. I think it probably something like TDMA antennas. I could have got a bunch of those boogers if I wanted them. Dude was trying to give them to me. A bunch of those, the same antennas they have on the side of. Ooh, that's kind of warm. What happened there? But on the side of, literally hit right in the side of my britches. I didn't hit my leg, and I could feel the warmth. Let me turn that brightness down. Can you guys see better when I did that? That changed that dim level. All right, so let's pull that forward. So this was in my opinion, probably not like, I need to time myself on this stuff, but probably not the most cost-effective means for me to be putting connectors together. But it is what it is. It's part of a build process that just takes some time. At some point in time, if I can find some, I don't know what the best option is really. I think it's probably, I know what it is. It's just me being a little bit more OCD and pulling these things apart the way I do. Throwing the extra heat shrink on there, covering everything up, doing soldering on it along with the crimp. Everything else just takes more time the way I'm doing this. Daisy, hijacking car. What's up? Hope you're doing well. So we working on some digital birds over here, putting all these things together. What's up, JJ? Hope you're doing well. We lost amps. Is going to be 80 amps or about 91 amps at bad luck with SMPS. Yeah, I think he meant amps maybe. But 91 amps is what it tested at. 80 amps is what it would be rated at. So you could run pretty much anything you really wanted for the most part, within reason. I think at the levels that you're talking about, you'd have no troubles with really anything you mentioned earlier. So you'd be fine. So if you had an 800 watt limit, then it would absolutely handle that with no problems, with room to spare. So the math, as far as that goes, for capabilities, just so you know, and if you're measuring off 800 peak, it's going to be a different scenario than average. So 80, let's just say it does the full 91 times 14.5, because that's where the hit is, 1,319 watts. So you times that by efficiency, say it's 50% efficient, so you can run up to 700 average on something. So you can go up to 1,500 watts or so, if not a little bit more, on peak. So just so you know, on one supply, that'll run off 110. That'll hold voltage steady, generally less than 1/10 of a volt drop, depending on how long of a length you run on it. If you run the lead length too long, then of course it'll drop voltage through the wire itself. But yeah. But thank y'all for hanging out on YouTube. Thank y'all for hanging out on Facebook. Thank y'all for hanging out on TikTok right now. I'm sure at some point in time I'll see how many people hang out on X, but I haven't seen that number go up yet. So one of these years I'll have more than 2 people that follow me on X. I think X is more like an already established, like, multi-million follower kind of thing, where you get to have like personal relationships with people and talk to them and stuff like that. It's the only thing I can think of, because it's just not really set up for live videos. I can go live, and I don't see new and organic, like what do you call it? Unique traffic. It's only the people who already follow you that get to see you on X and stuff like that. So I don't know. One of them days, I will see people following me on there, but I have like I said, 2 people there. All right, but it's all right. The 7,000 on Facebook and 3,000 on TikTok and 500 plus on, I think probably close to 600 and something on YouTube now, offset those numbers. So I am perfectly satisfied with that. I have no complaints. All right, so I'm going to line this up on these 3 screw holes. All right. So now what we got to do is mount our power cord out the back. So we're going to go ahead and get our drill bit. We're going to flip this booger over. We're going to do it somewhere out the back right here. It doesn't really matter. It's not critical at all where I do it. So I'm just going to pop our hole. We've got a custom drill already set up and ready. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th ring up. We'll go ahead and get our little box. I need to unplug my fan down here because it'll be slinging shavings all over my legs. I got my little catch-all for my aluminum shavings. And time to drill a hole. I'm going to knock the whole box in this floor from these wires hanging up here. Maybe I can hold them over here. Get them out of my way. Okay. So let's see how this works. Maybe it won't be too loud on you guys. Nope, that ain't gonna work. I gotta do this real quick. So because unfortunately the bit that I use, I don't know what happened to it, but brand spanking new, or either I just dropped it on something, I don't know. That booger does not. It won't start a hole for nothing. So I gotta get my handy dandy little impact going, and then I swap back over to it. I got the clutch set kind of low on this thing. If I drilled slower, this would probably work better, but so now all I've got to do is knock some of those shavings off of me, land them back over there, get it off my lap, and now I got to clean the inside of this edge. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the screws back out of this. Let's move this thing back up for whatever reason. I don't know why it's... Get back over here, dang you. This thing is aptly named for Rover. Thank you, buddy. Will you find me? There we go. We're good. It was nicknamed Rover, and I think the name is sticking because that thing is roving everywhere. It'll follow me pretty good whenever it's working, but every once in a while it loses me, and it just... I don't know what to do. Oh, goodness. You guys got questions? Y'all feel free to ask. You guys want to know anything specific? Feel free to ask. I need a deburring tool, or I'm just going to use the drill as a deburring tool. So let's just do that. Biggest thing when you do that, just don't go too deep because it'll just poke it right through, and you're up the creek. Because now you got too big of a hole rather than the correct size. Alright, so drill before you mount the meters. Yeah, for sure. I could do that, but luckily for me, it was such a small hole, such a short length, and also the way I put it in there, it's not going to catch anything on the meters at all. So luckily, it doesn't really matter. All my shavings go externally. Internally, the way it sets up, there's nothing to see. There's nothing actually inside there. I can beat it out and it don't drop nothing. So now here comes the rest of the work. So now I need to get one piece real quick. It's going to be up here. I've been stashing these away because I misplaced them for a bit. That's all my little nuts for these things. DJ Zaire Man 7X3W. What's up, man? I don't know how to say all that stuff, but DJ Zaire, I guess is what I would say. Do 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 do. So one digital bird, as long as I can get this booger put together right here, will be going out the door today, and then we will have more going out throughout the week. I'm gonna have a whole 1/2-inch harness finished and a whole another bird setup that's already completed done, and it'll get shipped out too. I've got to get a hold of any. I've got one. Let me go grab it real quick. I got a one. You can find me, buddy. Don't get lost. Come back, Rover. Okay. Sorry. I got one little USB-C right here. And I use it to kind of hold this thing in place while I'm tightening it up on the back side. Don't Hercules it, but just tighten it up. Alright. All this extra, not really that much, but there's a little bit. Tidies it up a little bit. Alright, so now let's see if I've got enough length on this. It's very, very tight. I don't know what I did with that. That was dumb. Messed around for some reason. It cut off my whole lower side of my bench. That was weird. Alright, whatever. Needless to say, doesn't matter. So, switch works just fine. And we can turn everything on and off. I gotta change my supply over here to direct. There we go. I change my supply over here to direct. Now these voltmeters have never been considered to be accurate, nor were they ever made to be accurate. This is not a voltmeter. This is specifically an RF meter. So one will say one voltage, one will say the other. It does not matter at all. Don't get wrapped up in that. It's just there. I'd rather it say voltage than say something else. It looks better. I don't care if it's the right voltage or not, because it's going to stay the same as long as it just stays there. It's fine. So these will stay pretty much on all the time. The customer can disconnect them if he wants to disconnect them. He can flip them on and off if he wants to flip them on and off. But there you go. That's all set up right there. I don't think he gave... What happened, Rover? Come back, Rover. You lost me again. What's up, Chris? Hope you're doing well. Okay. Let's look right here and see if there's any more notes in on this. So we got dual line section. He specifically did not order anything as far as connectors. I really need to ask him. I need to talk to this guy. Whatever. I'm going to be nice. I'll be the extra nice guy, and I'm going to do something for him. So, whatever. Is what it is. This is all done, finished up right here. There is no slugs that he ordered from me, so there's no preset on these meters. He just, all he's got to do is set it for whatever slugs that he runs. If he would have told me the slugs, then I could have set it for whatever slugs he had, or at least put it in the notes, that is. Anybody can tell me. No, I'm going to tell you up front. I'm going to tell everybody right now. If you tell me what slugs you're running whenever you're building this, whenever I'm building a wire and stuff, that's all fine and dandy. You can tell me all day, all you want. Unless you put it in the notes or have me put it in the notes to set it to your meter, I will not remember that. I will not put it in the meter, and I will not preset it for you. If you order a meter, even if you order just the digital movement itself, and you ask me to preset elements, then I will preset elements. But unless I know what element it is, I'm not going to preset it. Because otherwise, I could tune it to 1,000 different configurations. Element 1 could be 1,000 watt. Element 2 could be a 50 watt. Element 8 could be a 10 milliwatt. Element 7 could be a 100 microamp or 10,000 watt. I mean, there's a bunch of different options. Element 4 could be a random 60,000 watt element for a broadcast guy. Whatever. It could be anything. Alright, so it's all set up. It's all ready to go. He just peels his little stickies off, and he's good to go as far as that goes. I've got to... I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not easily. Ugh. Man, that's gonna be fun. I don't know if I can do that right now or not. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I just thought of a mistake that I made. Not a gigantic mistake, but it's definitely a mistake, and it might be a pain in my neck. And it might cost me about 16 more minutes. I'm gonna try this real quick. Let's just try it. I don't know if this will be successful or not, but I'm gonna try. No, forget it. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. Alright, so well, even then I've got no, it is worth it. Whatever. So these are not set up for directly connecting to a bird, and I've got to connect these directly to a bird. This has got to go out tonight. So we've got to put some heat on this and match this up. Wait, so they can show voltage too? Yeah, they can show voltage, but I wouldn't say that's a feature by any means, because it's not accurate. If we got into some of the settings and did some more updates, then and he modified some stuff, I'm sure he could probably make them more accurate. But as of right now, they are not accurate. gosh, that was a pain. Dang, that actually worked extremely well. Way better than I could have ever expected it to. That was very, very good news. Okay. So now we get to deal with my screw up. So what I did was I didn't strip this right here far enough back. Where, oh where, oh where, oh where, oh where is my handy dandy? There it is. Why? Oh, why did it do that? Okay, so now something I normally am able to do, I wasn't able to do. Maybe it's because of heat, maybe it's because of something else. I don't know. But that was kind of weird. Easy enough to fix though. Hang on a second, guys. I'm not trying to hide this from you, but I don't really care. Doesn't hurt my feelings for you guys to see, but I just gotta get at this perfect angle to cut this one tiny little piece off of Teflon. Teflon's real particular, so when you go to pull it off, you gotta cut it completely off, or else you get it stuck with it. Okay, cool. So now we got to get in here. That's perfectly fine. I could modify that, but personally I own a bunch more of these, so let's just start fresh with another one, and that is easy to do. I'll just have an extra ring and I'll deal with that later. Alright, so now we got to get to do what we're supposed to do in the beginning. Whenever I built this, I can utilize my safety squints if I want to. Hey, if you'll hang out for a second, Timber, I'll explain it to you. Give me just a second. I'll tell you how all this stuff works. So I'll pull the meter for the line section forward, and then I'll show you kind of the concept of how it sets up. It works off of a sampler port, so it kind of has like a directional coupler. I'll show you anyway, whatever. So this is what's called a DC connector pickup right here. So what this does is I'll modify this connector so it'll fit into this contact point right here. You'll have a element, whatever element you have. If you look closely, it's nice and clear through there. Maybe you can see a little bit of what's inside there. You can see kind of, it's got a little bit of stuff in there. So those components right there are basically an RF sample port, and the way it sets up is at specific frequencies, whatever frequencies you want. It reads power this way, and if I turn it the other way, it reads power that way. And then it runs, this way or that way. And then it has a 30 microamp sample that comes off, and that sample line goes to this meter. And that meter has to reads those microamperes and converts it over to a usable number readout so you can see what the numbers are. Alrighty. Oh, get up. Maybe that was a good enough explanation, but if it wasn't, I apologize. I've got to fix my screw up over here. Alright, so that was my mistake. That was fun. It was not really enjoyable, but hopefully I don't have to pay for it. And that was, what would you say? I can't utilize my 8 minutes of wasted time because of the way I set this up. And we are all safe. Good to go. Make sure I didn't mess around and leave any frays in there or have any other problems. Oh man, I ran out of mints. I don't know how loud that is on these cameras, so I gotta be, or these microphones, so I gotta be careful pulling my hat off and throwing it back on my head. So they can kind of black magic got it. Yeah, it's pretty cool the way it works. Alright, so I'll deal with that later. You guys can just, whatever, I'll stay over there. I guess the correct terminology would be called inductive coupling. Would be the way the coupler works. I'd be curious to make sure I'm right on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it would fall under the classification of. A lot of heat to get that bugger going again. That's just because I got so much metal, so much material already in there. Nice. Turned out well. Bonded well. Connected well. Ouch, my fingers. Once you get so much heat, there's just it's just unavoidable how hot it gets on your fingers. So you got to either be able to handle it or let it cool off and start over. In my case, I'm just trying to grin and bear it. Alright, it worked. So now, I don't have to burn the piss out of myself trying this out, but I'm going to try it because I'm impatient. I want to make sure this lines up. Because if this doesn't, then all I have to do is chop it back just a smidge further. But I need to know to do that beforehand. But also I can do this real quick. See if I can cheat. So I'm just trying to create a little mini indent right there. Ah, too much. Okay, cool. All I have to do, chop a smidge more back and just clean up my solder joint. There we go. It's now done. And the only thing I have to do from here, again, is just clean up my mess. Add a little bit more solder just to be extra safe. Make sure it's still bonded all the way through, which it's going to be. All right. Safety quints off. Clean up my rosin. Same thing, just like I did a while ago. I like to start it in reverse. I need to quit touching that. This just don't burn me. There you go. Lock her in place. She's nice and tight. Works and does what it's supposed to do. Take her back off, and that one's good to go. Now I got to do the other one. So the problem with this is I don't have my other reducer on me, so I'm having to modify these. I could have cut these off and restarted this, but it is what it is. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to make this a little bit faster than before and cut it a little bit. Bird's the word. What's up, Andrew? Adam? Hope you're doing well. What's up, William? Hope you guys are doing well. We're doing a double bird meter setup right here. Now, I did screw up. It's the middle of the night, and I built this like I was building a regular connector, so I'm having to pull this back off. But it won't take but just a second to do so. I just gotta... The only thing I gotta be careful for whenever I'm doing this part is not to burn myself. That's the main thing, because this whole connection is gonna be super, super hot. Otherwise, pretty simple and easy to deal with. Ah, darn it. All right, so now that worked out wonderful news. That worked out great there. Oh, little rough there. Not bad at all. Ouch. A little warm. Alright, so now all I gotta do is redo this, and we'll be good. So cool this booger off. Some stuff isn't on YouTube. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by some stuff isn't on YouTube. I'm confused. Sorry, Timber. What you got to say? Will the bird DC connectors fit on the RG-400? Yes, they will fit on RG-400. I'm not a fan of the bird DC connectors. That's why I don't like to build them. But yeah, they'll fit on RG-400. You'll have to modify the center conductor a little bit. It'd work a little bit better for RG-142 or something. But yeah, I've done it with RG-400 too. But I am not a fan. I don't like that spring connector. But if you wanted it, definitely I'd be happy to do it for you. Don't let me stop you. I can build it however you like. Now, the only reason I'm having to remodify this is because I was just dumb and wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I didn't strip this back far enough. So I'm gonna do this right here. Yeah, I'm not following that one. I don't know. It's late. I'm not thinking about what you're saying. There's Timber. Hey, Adam, if you got any questions, you feel free to message me anytime. I think I sent you a message of it earlier. But if you've already responded to me, I apologize. But yeah, if you guys want to see it, here is a digital bird setup, externally mounted. Okay. So now, I could cut this one, but I'm going to do the same thing as I did before, and we're just going to go ahead and grab another end just because it's late. I got things to do, and I ain't got time to wait on this thing. Okay. You little butthole. Trying to be a pain in the neck. Alright, sorry, we're not talking too much, but just trying to line this up. Probably should talk a little bit more, but it's a little bit of a focus spot. It seemed like too long. I was waiting too long. All right. So I can typically get this done in about the same 8 minutes, but because I'm trying to redo this piece right here, it's taking me a little bit longer. So it is what it is. This is time I should have to eat myself because it's my own mistake anyway. Alright, so now do some more measurements. Make sure we didn't have any strands, give me any problems, because if it did, then it's just not worth it and I'll just cut it off and redo it. But if we didn't, and we didn't, we're good to go. Yep. Hey, no problem. Appreciate you, Adam. Message me anytime. I just making sure I wasn't messing up. I've done that on quite a few occasions. I've sent somebody some stuff and then did not follow up on my side, and somebody be pissed off at me. You know, I got to be careful with stuff like that. So, oh, sure, yeah. Like I said, if you would like to know more details about it, I can kind of explain a little bit more of the voodoo on how a directional coupler is supposed to work. Super similar to what a coupler does. It's just highly directional the way it sets up. So the goal is it reads RF as it flows one direction and RF as it flows another direction. So RF can flow two ways. It goes out your antenna and it flows back through to your equipment. And then as it goes back to your equipment, it can get radiated back to the antenna. So it's kind of how that setup goes. But in your case, the way that sets up is we see the re-radiated signal before it's re-radiated as SWR, standing wave ratio. It's a measure of your output power versus how much is returning back to the system. So it's not necessarily what stays at the system, but it's definitely what is registered as coming back. So the lower you can get that number, the better your match to your system is, the less loss you have in your coax over a given length, because it's not having to re-radiate multiple times to be able to get out the antenna. That also is antenna efficiency and design, things like that. So without too much complication, it's a measure of how much goes out versus how much comes back. And you have two different elements that you set up, one to read one direction, one to read the other direction, unless you just wanted to manually move back and forth over and over and over again just to see what the numbers are. It's typically why people use 2 meters, because they want to see how much is going both directions. And typically you need a smaller element to read what's coming back versus what's going out, because ideally that number is orders of magnitude lower. You're talking about ideally 3% coming back versus 97% going out, or less a lot of times if you can help it. Best case scenario, like as far as for close numbers, is going to be 10% coming back with a high SWR and 90% going out. So Okay. I gotta make sure the way I built this doesn't cause a problem. Let this booger cool off just a smidge. Alright, now hook on, say, this DC connector right here. Oh, too hot. Too hot. I'm being impatient, so this is why I'm having to do this with a rag right now, because it's nice and warm. Too hot. It screws on just fine, so I gotta be careful with how much I bubble that in. So add just a smidge more, just try not to bubble it out. Okay. Locked into place, holding the way it's supposed to be, no spring in line, connects just fine. Alright, see what Terry had to say. Said as it flows forward. Yeah, sure. As it goes out the antenna, it goes to the forward direction. So if you was to look at this right here, this is input, this is output. As it goes out to the antenna, you measure what goes out versus how much is returning back. So you can measure the forward power versus the reflected power. That's typically what Bird will call it. Okie dokie. I gotta get some parts put on this thing. I'm throwing this guy some stuff because I don't remember what I quoted him. So I'm just gonna give him the whole kit and caboodle. %3 of 2060, so to be extra, I'd want a 250 watt slug in reverse. Not really, not with these digitals, that is. So if you had a digital meter, then what you would read in that scenario would be, I would probably do, say, actually, I'd probably do a 100 watt slug, because it could measure all the way down to about a watt, and it could measure up to 400 watts. So you could use it for a driver test. So if you were trying to run 2,000 watts, you would measure it at, you would use for your output element probably a 500 watt element. For your reflect element, you'd put in 100. You'd be good for 1 watt to 400 watts on the reflect element, which you could also use as an input, like whatever you're driving it into. Actually, no, you couldn't use it that way. Well, yeah, you could. You could flip it around with the box off and do it that way. So I'd say either get something like a 50 watt or 100 watt for reflect, and then get something like a 500 watt or 1,000 watt for output. If you got a 1,000 watt, then you'd be good for up to 4,000 watts. If you got a 500 watt, you'd be good for up to 2,000 watts. So that'd be kind of the combo that I would go for. Because this has got a 4 times multiplier, so it gives you a lot more versatility and a lot more options on what you can run. So rather than being limited and stuck in a situation where you can only run so much, it gives you a lot more chances to run something more. I'm gonna have to, at some point, I've got one over here. Let me just use this. I'm gonna rob this one out Shaw. This one hasn't been used but like 2 times, so it's a brand spanking new one. It's just used for a tester to test an SWR. So. Ouch. Twisted on my finger. One, two, three, four. Now, this customer was not quoted any connectors at all, but I'm going to go ahead and provide them. I'm probably not going to provide them on future orders because I just don't have that kind of money. So we're going to keep that to a minimum. But I'll probably still offer a discount on connect. I'm still offering a discount on all my line sections right now. Now that's the one cool thing about these digitals. They give you that 1x, that 2x, and that 4x option, but it does it accurately. I was so happy. I tested a 2500 watt slug versus a 250 watt slug, and it was accurate at 150 watts, and it was accurate all the way down to 15 watts. So a 2500 watt slug being accurate down to 15 watts is nuts. Alright, so I gave him some connectors. I hope he appreciates that. Maybe he didn't need them, maybe he does, whatever. It is what it is. I'm sending them anyway. Alright, cool. So his will screw on to his dual line section like this. So the way it sets up, let's just do it. I'm just going to act like these are 5 foot apart right here, right? So act like this is way on down the line, 5 foot away, right? Well, that's a little bit too much spring effect for there. Whatever. You guys can see close enough, right? Way on down the line, 5 foot away. We screw into one part of the dual line section right here. We screw into the other part of the dual line section right here. I start in reverse and line it up, and then tighten her up. Then she's good and ready to go. It's screwed into his amplifier. He's a long distance away from however long his source is. So he screws this into his final amplifier and puts this where he's monitoring everything. So they can be way far away. I can do 20 foot, 30 foot away. It doesn't matter. I can do 5 foot away, like this one is right here. But it doesn't matter. So this goes to the final amplifier, and this right here is just for monitoring. So then all you have to do is make sure you have some sort of power source, whether it's a battery pack, whether it's a wall plug, or whether it's a cigarette lighter plug. Doesn't really matter. It'll be able to measure from there. And then all you gotta do is put some wattage through these elements right here, whatever element you end up picking. So say you want 4,000 watts on the top end, you do a 4,000 watt element, 1,000 watt element right there. It's good for 4,000 watts. You do say a 50 watt element on the bottom end for the reflect. So you're measuring on the reflected position. This would be output, this would be reflect. So reflect element, output element right here. You'll measure up to 200 watts in reflected power there. You'll measure up to 4,000 watts in output power there. That can measure in average right there or peak right there, either one, PEP. So it'll do either one, whichever one you want to do. So you've got options, you got stuff to play with, and this stuff is cool as crap. So this digital bird is shipping out to its customer in California, and he is all wired up, all finished up, all ready to go. He would have been done in about 25 minutes ago, but dummy me put the connectors together wrong, so it held me up a little bit. So I'm going to disconnect this, put this all in a box, and this thing's ready to go. As of right now, we are out of time, so I got to ship him out, and we got to be done with this. Alright, you guys got questions, message me anytime. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you, Timber. Appreciate you, Terry. Appreciate you, Adam. Appreciate you, everybody else who is still hanging out around the band. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you all later. TikTok, this is the last time you'll see me on this little camera right here for probably about a week until I get unbanned again. So, catch you guys later. I will try to do my best to respond to your email probably tomorrow, Timber, because I got a doctor's appointment in the morning. So I gotta get this stuff shipped and gotta get out the door. But try to explain a little bit more in detail about what you need. Like if you're talking about like just a for other people, for you specifically, let's kind of give me some details. Appreciate you. Thanks, guys.